getting dicey.
Successful intro. It just doesn't
And
work.
Reagan is 0 for 132.
Yeah, I've had so few of those actually go to plan.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's totally fine. That's totally fine.
No, it's perfect.
Better.
That's what happened.
It was
So much-
actually optimal.
It's how it had to be. It was how it had to be.
You guys can discuss it later.
So first of all, I just need to make sure: are you guys taking the carriage with the horses and the skeletons along with you to Yester Hill,
Of course.
or is it
Probably the
yes.
same point we did last time, right? When we were attempting it last time.
Yeah. So you're just all getting into the cart. You're all prepping your stuff. And sort of Davian is back inside the winery, just making last sort of preparations for the wine that is to be delivered later on. And you guys head off, following the path around to the north and down to the south. Loris?
Yeah, I think I'd like to walk beside the cart this time rather
Okay.
than in it. I feel kind of constrained in there, so I want to be free.
It is pretty full. It's got the whole crew plus 2 skeletons.
It's a bit confined for my liking, so I'd like to just walk beside the cart.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And it's only a couple of minutes after that, Joe. There's a memory of last night that sort of comes into mind. For the last few nights, you've been having these dreams and visions, and it just sort of comes to you again that you had yet another one last night. This dream involved you just in this dark forest. And you could just feel these eyes on you, and these trees that are surrounding you are incredibly thick and incredibly tall. And in between 2 of these trees, you just see these huge eyes open. And there's a massive just gust of wind as it just pushes past you, as the eyes shoot up above the treetops, and silhouetted in the night sky above you is just this enormous owl looking down, and its eyes never breaking contact with yours. But that's all you really remember from that dream.
Do I get a good feeling or an ominous feeling?
No, strangely, it's quite a serene, good feeling that you're getting from this. There's sort of a familiarity with this owl thing. It's
Yes, I have encountered an owl such as this before. There was, I'm so sorry I ruined the intro before. I was going to say something, but now I feel real weird about it.
Do it.
I was going to say before we leave, I wanted to go talk to Davian for a minute.
Ah, right.
But maybe I can just do it.
Well, we can have a
get
quick
back.
flashback
Run back and talk
to
to
a
him.
conversation that happened. Do you want to? We can do that.
I mean, I wanted to offer Davian.
How are you this morning?
Davian says.
I'm very good. I'm very good. You seem to be full of life. Full of
Well,
life.
yes, we're trying to get everything ready for the deliveries. There's plenty of deliveries to be had.
I'm glad to see you're in good spirits. Well, I was thinking of you last night, and I prepared something just for you, actually. And I want to go to those poisoned barrels of wine, and I want to show him a spell that I'm going to do on it.
Okay.
It's called Purify Food and Drink.
Nice.
And I'm going to say, I'm so sorry we could not prevent this, but I can erase the poison from your wine.
Great.
I'm going
Oh, nice.
just going to like mystically spread my hands around. I'm going to do a little
Little dance. Yeah.
and then I'm going to purify the wine and remove the poison from it. I'm going to give him a wink.
Yeah. I think he's sort of he sees the magic sort of flow out around these big casks in that casking area. And he's like, how do we know this has worked?
I'm gonna just get a glass and drink it to show him.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. You climb up the stairs inside the winery and you scoop some of this wine into a small flask, and you now have that on your body, and you place it to your mouth.
I'm gonna do the pretentious swirl thing first.
Okay. Yeah, give me a
Free from poisonness.
yeah, give me an investigation check.
Maybe I didn't pull it off. I rolled a 10 plus
Just a
0.
straight 10. Cool. Yeah, you give it a smell, and there's a bit of a funky smell to this wine. But it's not
drinkable,
harsh.
but not great.
Yeah,
But it's rendered free of poison and disease.
yeah. And do you want to try some of it?
Well, now I'm unsure.
Well,
You're like,
I mean,
I was doing so smug, and now it smells weird.
Davian looks up at you, having sort of like recoiled a little bit from taking that smell of that wine.
So is everything all right, American? That should smell, so beautiful. The aroma, the little grapes used for it, majestic.
I thought I'd purified it, but it smells odd.
Drink it.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Nice,
I mean, Loris, you can. Loris!
Right, check.
Yep.
Right, check.
The skull.
Okay, yeah. So you throw the little.
I'll keep one.
You put the lid onto this flask and throw it down to Loris, and Loris catches it, opens it up, and just downs the whole thing. And Loris, it tastes just foul. It tastes like it has been completely ruined. Like there's no poison in it. You're not being affected in any way, but the taste of this wine has just been completely spoiled.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's liquid, but it's been corked. It's not drinkable.
Yeah.
What's in it?
It is wine.
It's wine. It's just bad.
But
wine.
I've purified it of poison and disease, so
Correct.
it's just ruined still.
It is.
Maybe it's got something.
It
to do
hasn't
with
been
the
purified by the purify food and drink spell.
But he has now 3 large barrels of top quality balsamic vinegar ready to rock.
Yeah. it's more vinegar than wine. To be fair.
The spell renders it free of poison and disease. It's that kind of purification. But the taste of this wine is gone.
Do you think that they dip their socks in it or something? Or
It's what it tastes like.
well, do you think it's something to do with the gem? Like the gem was taken away, and
It's probably been made with just bad grapes, or it's just
you hear that, Davian?
oxidized. I don't know. It just tastes bad.
Well, I would rather bad wine than poison wine. I'm sure we can fool some people into drinking this. I'm sure we can find something else.
Oh
Davian,
no, you can't sell this to people. No.
American, did you say it smelled a bit musty, a bit sour?
Yes?
Well, he's obviously got the kombucha in there, hasn't he? That's how it's supposed to taste.
If does kombucha taste that bad, Ollie?
Well, I think it's an acquired taste, Loris.
I'm just like, I'm ready to move on. That was humiliating. Bye, Davian.
Yeah, this is just like a flashback memory that you had as you're heading off on the carriage, and you're just kind of like, well, that was that. You tried your
One of
best.
those awkward memories that
Right.
just pops into your head at an opportune time.
Yeah. Remember when I thought I was going to help and I didn't?
Yeah.
Cool.
That was hilarious.
How many of those moments have we had?
when I used my magic spell, and fuck, just feelings of abject shame.
When I burned it,
Yeah.
was that a level 2 spell?
Nah,
level
just
one?
a level 1. But I
That's
prepared it
level 4.
specifically to do that.
That's brilliant.
Great.
Yeah, you got to remember that Barovia is an interesting place full of hardships and things that may not go as planned.
Barovia's a dick.
Things that
Barovia
make
is
you go,
Morley.
I don't want to beleaguer the spell, but if milk had gone bad, right, and
cheese.
American had used that spell on some milk that was like a couple of days past the best before, that have brought it back to its splendor.
Well, it removes it of poison and disease. So
That's
But if it's
open
off,
to
it's off.
interpretation, isn't
If
it?
it's off,
Because When milk spoils, it's been overtaken by
all I will
disease,
say
microorganisms.
if it wasn't for that taste, it's still just as alcoholic. It was just the taste that had been ruined. There was nothing you could have done to have been able to bring that wine back to its pre-poison state fully. Yeah.
I think
Good
like,
spell.
Think,
This spell is now on my blacklist too.
see, I think the
There's
spell's
so
good.
many druid spells that are just.
Poisoned and something's been like. If
Okay,
it's disease,
I'm just gonna break that fourth wall just for a moment, just because I can hear that bitterness building up. Literally, if you had used that spell on any other poisoned wine, literally anywhere else in Barovia, it would have worked. But this specifically says if someone uses the purify food and drink, it fails. It literally says that in the book. So I'm sorry that.
wow.
I'm not. Okay.
Be more bitter.
Yeah.
The game was totally against you
It's
from the
that
start.
specific.
It expected you to do it, and it expected it to ruin your fun.
Wow.
Barovia sucks. Let's get out of here.
Barovia's a dick. Like
Sucks to be Davian.
the city.
Yeah, this is much worse
Give
for
the kombucha,
David
champ.
at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time to
Anyway.
turn the page on wine. It's over.
Yeah.
Stick with vinegar and kombucha.
So American with
Enema.
that dream. So that dream just flashes into your head again as you're heading off on that carriage. Is there anything that sparks within you that you?
Yes, it does take me back. Takes me back to when I was first lost in the wilderness before I gained my druidic powers. But it is very private, and I do not share that with everyone. But it does surprise me that I saw this spirit in my dreams.
Okay, great. So between here and Yesterhill, is there anything you guys want to be preparing or getting ready?
Yes.
I talk to my skeletons
Okay.
and say there's going to be some danger coming up, but we're going to work as a team, and together we're going to make Barovia a better place.
And what were their
Take
names?
it off these.
Tracy and Stephen, was it?
Was Tracy and some of my
Tracy and
list.
something.
Yeah, good memory of Tracy. It's not Russell.
No, I think it was Steve.
But yeah, anyway, we'll take it off these kleptocratic assholes.
Yeah, and both Tracy and Steve just like slam a high five like into each other's hands, just clatter them together, and they kind of get them stuck. The bones kind of get entangled and stuck, and they free them after a little bit, and they look back at you and they're like,
Yes, Colin and Tracy
Colin and Tracy. That's right.
Colin.
will work together.
How could we forget?
Yeah.
Lest we forget.
So at a normal pace, especially with Loris walking by your side, it's going to take about 40 minutes to get to near the base of Yesterhill. So if there's anything you guys want to prepare on the way, just let me know. Otherwise, we can scoot forward about 20 minutes. Who's driving this carriage at this point?
Well, if Loris is walking, I'm happy to drive the carriage.
Okay, great. You see, and it works probably best since you've got the highest passive perception as well. Up on the left, just as the path turns around a corner, you've got the big dense forest up on each side of you, but off in some of the shadows there is a small like shack that just wasn't there before. Just on the side of the road. And there doesn't seem to be, there's like a little bit of a reddish, greenish sort of glow coming from within, out this very small windows that are on the front. And as you get closer, you can notice there's just like a humming, like a big sign that keeps flashing, like just welcomes, like just like it's a big welcome sign on the on this shack door, just above the shack door.
What in the spirits is that?
Seems
I'm gonna
dangerous.
point at it. It seems that wasn't there. That wasn't there before.
I think
Well,
would've
we
noticed
were
that.
in a hurry last
I've
time.
never seen such a sign.
Yeah.
I feel drawn to it somehow.
Yeah, I'm kind of compelled to just go have a look.
Mothman.
It looks shiny and new, so I really want to go check it out.
The sign looks shiny and new. As you get closer, you will notice that this thing is looking really, really worn down, or like the wood is barely holding together. That has built this little shack, and you're not really seeing anything through those windows. They're covered in dirt, but you can see just like a soft glow kind of from within.
Can I just give the door a kick?
You can just walk up and kick that door.
And give it a bit of just a gentle tap, just to see if it opens.
Okay, so not a big kick. So you just kick. You just like
tap to see like if it's open. If the whole thing collapses, that's cool. I'll walk away.
you just magpie. Christ, it's a place to be.
As Loris walks over to say, "Hey, just maybe wait a second, and let's see if we can work out what's going on."
Just like a child.
What a dad!
Actually, that's so
American.
true. Will is like his dad.
Do you mind stopping the car, American?
I'm gonna stop the cart.
Yeah, the horses.
Hello?
Loris has to get out.
Hello, you in the shack?
And you can just hear from within the shack. You just hear this.
See, me kicking the door open would have solved all this.
Sildar?
Gary?
Oh, Gary.
No response.
Don't
No,
worry
just
about it.
you just hear like another.
It sounds to me like someone needs help. I really want
I'm
to
like,
kick the door open.
this seems clear. This seems like a trap,
But be polite.
Loris, go check it out.
Cool. I just need for Bills to give me permission.
I'm not sure we should actually go in here. This seems very suspect.
It's a trap, for Christ's sakes.
It's a trap, but
What a trap, and someone's sick and needs our help.
agree
Well,
with
you go in
Loris.
there.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but agree with Loris. What is happening today? I mean,
can I
God, we are strong. I woke up this morning feeling stronger than ever. I feel a buzz with nature energy. I know you are all very strong and you're looking wonderful. I forgot to say this, but you're all looking wonderful today. What could possibly go wrong?
Can I have whatever she's on?
Molly.
All right. Seeing as though
Oh, here we go. The voice of reason.
with a group of absolute school children, easily distracted, can Morley just do a what do you call it? A circumference of this little shack, doing an investigation for any kind of traps or anything? Let me do that.
Give me an investigation.
You're going to circumnavigate the shack.
Oh,
I
beautiful.
am going to circumnavigate the shack. Probably get stuck in a gin trap or something.
Give us an investigation roll.
All right.
Seeing Morley roll his
Oh,
eyes.
don't
like,
you have detect traps or something?
Well, do I need them? Because
That roll.
22.
Total of 2.
Why use the advantages the game has given me? No, I don't.
Yeah, you make your way around. There's no traps around it, but it's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest built shack ever. There's no other doors on the back. There's no windows on the backs or sides. There's no chimney on the roof. It's almost just like a relatively small box of a shack with a door on the front.
I'm specifically looking for how it might be affixed to the ground it's now standing on.
It looks like there are just small cinder blocks in each corner of this shack that are just lifting it off the ground. It looks like it's just been placed on these little cinder blocks.
Look, it's a dilapidated old hut. Let's count our blessings and move on. Right?
It's got a
Nothing to
neon
see here,
sign.
folks.
Needs our help.
And the signs just go.
And the sign says welcome, doesn't it? It
Yeah, it
doesn't
does.
say help, I'm in dire need of assistance. Just to confirm.
Oh,
Okay,
right,
thank you.
I'm sorry, that says to me someone needs help.
Excellent.
Because it
That is
doesn't
the
say help.
loosest. That is the
Okay.
loosest rationale I've ever heard.
yeah.
Since when have Loris
do.
ever had good rationale?
It does say welcome.
It does.
Like, we're big, strong adventurers. Check it out for at
We've
least
had
a
it with your
second.
reckless attitude. I'm gonna
I
hide.
had it with your
I mean-
cowardly attitude
You
then.
know what, Morley, you can just sit in the carriage while we go rescue this potentially injured, sick person.
Good
That's
fucking
cool.
luck. Fine with me.
You just wait with the horses, and
I will.
we'll
I
go.
will.
Look,
I will wait with
Loris,
the horses.
Loris, if you go in, just use your manners, please.
I'll be gentle.
Yeah, don't like kick in the door or
I was just going to
punch
tap it with
anyone.
my foot. I wasn't. Like, it was just a tap.
Most people use their hands for the door.
My hands are full
Yeah,
of.
use. Well, that's your first problem.
It's not a problem to
You're
be
gonna
ready.
freak someone out if you walk in with an axe.
I'll hide it behind my back.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, you just so you're just
Suspicious
giving
at all.
so you're just giving the door just a little kick.
Just a little tap to see if it's ajar, and I'm gonna if the door opens, I'll make sure my axe is hidden behind my back so it doesn't freak the fuck out of somebody.
Yeah. So you just tap the door with your foot near the base of it,
Tap, tap.
and the door just goes. It just opens up into this.
That's a good sign.
It's a good sound. And you take in, there's like these little magical candles on this little bench, this bench top that sort of divides this room. So there's you on this side of this half of the room. Then there's almost like a counter across the middle with these little magical candles. They're glowing sort of green and red. And then there's maybe a 2 or 3 foot behind that counter, just this beautiful red curtain that seems to be pulled across the room. And you can just hear from behind that curtain just the...
Hello? Is anyone there?
As you say that, and these 2 arms outstretched kind of like push open this the curtain and outstretched, and this this person, this human, just slowly sort of like walks 1 foot in front of the other, and he says, "Brian's."
That's the zombie dude.
Did I hear?
I remember Brian.
He said what sounded like Brian's. Can you give me a perception roll, Dave?
Sure. Perception. My perception really isn't that good, but
Okay.
it's not bad. But we'll see.
So
It's 11 plus 3, so it's 14.
with a roll of a 14, Dave, this is really weird. It looks like a zombie has just like put on a bunch of like human like makeup to make it look really human. So it's got his arms stretched out and he's kind of got his head on a bit of a bend, but he kind of actually looks like he was trying to fool people into thinking he may just be all right. And he says,
Does he smell human?
Welcome to Brian's, where I've got all the bargains you need.
and steps
it
up
looks
to the
human.
counter.
Does he smell human?
He smells off. He smells very rotten.
So it
Like
looks
a
human,
druid.
doesn't smell like human.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm conflicted.
With your roll of 14, this is 100% just a zombie that is doing his best not to be a zombie.
All right.
What brings you to Brian's? What can Brian do for you?
Well, Brian, the welcome sign kind of caught my interest. What do you got? I'm
Well-
ready to lock his head off if he makes the wrong move, by the way.
Here at Brian's, what we do is we take what is not loved and we make it lovable again.
Ooh, okay. Now you've caught my interest.
I'm gonna peek in.
And he leans forward onto the counter, like one elbow on the counter and one hand, and you can hear just his wrist like snap as he puts weight onto his thing. And he says,
Do you have something you don't love?
Sure, here's a javelin.
"That was okay, yeah." All right. So for anyone who's listening or watching, that's like, "That was fast. How do you know about javelins?" I did ask everybody throughout the week if they had anything they didn't like, or as in regards to items that they might not need. So I think that's where Dave is coming up with this.
Yeah, totally.
How many javelins have you got?
I have 2, and I'm going to give them both.
So you just like slam these 2 javelins down.
These are useful.
And they like one of them just comes down right over his fingers. And just like you can hear them crack and the tip of one of his fingers rolls onto the counter.
Yeah, sorry about that.
He says,
Okay, well, I can see why you wouldn't love these.
and he picks them up gently. And in one smooth movement, he lowers them beneath the counter, and he rummages around for about 2 or 3 seconds before bringing up one single javelin. And this, let's see if I've got any descriptors of this to give you. This one, it actually looks like it's made of silver, this javelin. And there are little lightning bolt sort of insignias down the edge of this thing.
He's going to make me Thor.
What's that?
Nothing. I'm just envisaging Thor throwing lightning bolts. Sorry.
Right. And he says, all it cost was what you loved. No, wait. Oh, Brian, what you don't love. Stupid Brian. And he hits his head a couple of times. What you don't love, what you don't love. Here is your javelin. And he hands this javelin back to you.
So I'm just going to look at it, and like I'm obviously suitably impressed by this. This is new. Yeah, cool. So to put it back into my like just sort of attach it to the back of my my outfit, and I'm going to pull up my axes and go, what do you reckon you can do with those?
Let's not be greedy, big man.
No one else will know.
You gave me what you truly despised first, and therefore I know those hand axes must be pretty cool.
Hey, Baron.
Brian sees all.
And Brian clearly does not. Brian clearly does not see all. He's missing like one eye, and the other eye is just completely white.
This guy is amazing. You've got to check this guy out. He's amazing.
Brian, there's a Brian in here. You'd love this.
I've been listening in from the. Well, I've been close by.
He's an undead special man.
Too far. I don't know how much I heard, but
I think you've heard like that Loris was in there having a conversation, and you may not have seen exactly what had happened, but you maybe look in now and see Loris with this beautifully new, shiny silver javelin on his back that you know he didn't have before.
Oh.
And his javelin's missing.
Oh.
Trade, it's fair.
Okay. Hello. Should we all go in? It seems to be safe.
Brian's.
Thank you.
Brian's great. He's amazing.
Oh, hi, Brian. Are you Brian?
And he tries to, again, he goes to look you in the eye, but because he literally cannot see where you are, he's just looking sort of like 30 centimeters over your right shoulder.
What is it that you don't love? Tell Brian.
Well, I don't like an object.
Is there something you have that you will be happy to see gone?
Well, now you mention it, I do have. I'm going to reach into my backpack, pull it out, and I've got this this pouch here, and I did think I was going to like it at first, but then I saw what its effects were, and I haven't really used it. It's called Traveler's Dust, and it's a very strong, addictive drug. I would like a drug that is very good.
A drug that
not
is
as addictive, but
drug dealer for Christ.
if you, I don't know if you're swapping things. Do you have any good drugs or?
Wow, now we're talking some serious shit.
Well, I wasn't expecting this, but I'm sure I can find something for you here at Brian's.
This place is fantastic.
I know, right? I told you.
And he just hands out one of his like rotten hands in front of you. Can you give me a perception check?
Yes, it's just a straight 0 and 11.
Okay, yeah, okay. With the roll of 11, and you too can see through his disguise. You can tell that this Brian is an undead zombie that is trying his best to look and sound as human as he can.
Hey, come in here, Colin, Tracy. Check it out.
You're missing.
So yeah,
He's got his
hand.
Great example.
He's got his hand out, waiting for this little baggie of yours.
Oh yeah, I just pop it onto the counter.
And he hears you put it on the counter, and he places his hand to try and find it in front of him, and he grabs this little bag. He says, "Oh yes, I think I have something for you." And again, spends a couple of seconds under the counter and pulls back like this grade A, like cocaine baggie. Just like
What?
just like it's like it's some of the cleanest stuff you've seen, and he hands it over to you. He says,
You're going to get his band of discord with this conversation.
Don't use it all at once.
My nose starts to wiggle. Thank you, Brian. And I'm just gonna tuck it away, hoping no police have spotted me.
Like, oh, do me. This is exciting. I'm gonna rummage through my backpack.
okay.
And I'm just like, I pull out that glass orb that I had placed this high hope in as an object of divination, only to find it was nothing but a piece of glass.
Oh,
And I was
like the one from the death house?
Yeah, that the medium told me had no divination properties.
Yeah.
I was like,
The one
well,
that-
this did disappoint me. Can you do anything with this?
It says,
Brian can only try.
and he sort of motions for you to place your item on the counter.
I can't believe we've got 2 spooky Brians in one room.
And he picks up that little glass orb off the counter, and again just rummages around underneath the counter for a few seconds, and he pulls up something that looks very similar, but there's like a mist within this one, and it's got this really ornate brass sort of like foot, so it can sit on a table nice and easily. And he just hands it out in one hand, and the weight of it like pushing his hand in a really awkward angle, and he's trying to balance his hand on the end of his wrist.
Oh my, that looks very mystic indeed. Do I owe you something, Brian?
I
have
have
coin.
already taken what you don't love.
Loris is just going to step outside and grab Morley and basically drag him inside and say, "Dude, you need to see this shit.
Get your hands off me, Loris.
You need to.
slap
This is important. You
Loris's
need to talk to Brian.
Who the fuck is Brian, man? I'm
Go
surprised
on.
you've not been murdered yet.
Stop being such a scaredy cat and go on and see."
Are you gonna go in?
Is it just Loris that has emerged unscathed, or is like Brian walking out with a bit of dust in the mow?
Exactly.
Brian?
Yeah.
Brian, leave that shit alone.
Me and my 2 skeletons have just had a little bit of a sniff.
Bit of whiz.
Yeah,
Bit of
we'll
whiz.
come out, go woo. Thanks, Brian.
Is American okay? Can I see American?
Yeah, you look in and you can see Mirakin holding on to this what looks like some sort of fortune teller's ball. She's still in her spring mode, her hair green, sort of a little peppy.
And Bill?
Well, what has Bill been up to actually? I think he's. Did you go inside or?
Bill's been watching from the door, and I just call back and I say, I think it's okay. I think it seems to be some sort of second-hand goods dealer who's trading things.
Bill and Mirakin, can I get a perception check from you two?
Yes.
I might as well get yours as well now, Morley as well, just in case.
Just don't worry about the fact that he's a zombie, Morley. It's all good.
I've rolled a net 20 plus 6 for a total
Nice.
of 26.
Yeah, like you again, you've seen straight through his disguise as well.
Of that one.
so good.
Okay, Bill, with a roll of
What?
14.
How much was that, Adam?
So it was a 1, but +1. Let's not forget about that.
Plus one. So yeah, Bill, you've seen through this disguise as well. To everybody involved, you're like, this is just like a zombie, a dead human that is trying his best to hold on to the life he may have once had. But Morley, you look in and you just see like a guy behind the counter, and he's looking. He looks pretty sick, to be honest. You're sort of worried about his. Like he's this blind guy. There's his jaws hanging a little bit loose in the socket as well. His head
He's
on
hanging loose and he's sick. Wow. This
He's clearly sick.
California surfer.
yeah, but
Even his eyes are hanging loose.
Yeah, but
He's hanging 10, all right.
but to Morley, it's just a guy. It's just a guy, like a merchant behind a counter.
Oh, right. Well, Bill's in the door, so I'm not going to like barge past Bill. I'm going to wait for Bill to do what he needs to do.
Please, after you, Morley.
Oh, Bill, you're a kinder man than you, Bill. You'll not meet. Thanks very much. I'm going to walk in. Greetings, good sir.
Brian.
Morley. And what are you selling there, Brian?
And he sort of like outstretches his arms, and like 3 of the fingers on his left hand are just like hanging, like almost broken from the hand, thanks to the javelin that like got slammed on it earlier. And he's just like,
I take what you don't love, and I make it loved.
Are those, is your hand okay, Brian? I've seen some scurvy in my time, but that's really gotten out of hand.
and he looks over at his other hand, which is fine, and he says,
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, look, I wouldn't meddle. You might want to get a medical man to take a look at that for you, but okay. You take what I don't love, did you say?
Yes.
Oh, a man of few words. I like that. Too many chatterboxes around these parts. Let me see. And I'm going to look at my backpack. You know what? I don't know where I got this, and I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to use it. And then, ding! Molly drops this kind of small kind of bell on the bench. This seems like it's just... I'm carrying this around. I've got absolutely no use for it. You have it. You have it, Brian.
and Brian's jaw just drops even wider than it was, like almost
Careful there.
Oh, I've needed one of these.
And he just starts dinging it. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, welcome to Brian's.
Aww.
And he says,
I have something for you.
and he reaches down under the counter and he brings up like an identical bell. It's like identical in every, and he places it next to the one that you've put on, except instead of the sort of silver shine that the one you had, it's just like a matte black. And he just places it on the counter.
Now, Brian, I don't want you to think I'm looking a gift horse in the mouth here, but one of the main reasons I gave you this bell is because I have no use for a bell.
Give it a try.
All right. And is it the type of bell with a little ball inside that dings, or is it? Do I need to strike it with?
It's it's got one of those little things, hammers on the top that you.
Oh, it's a service bell.
It's like a service bell.
Okay. All right.
Difference
Here
between
goes.
the bell and the. Jeez.
Ding.
And it doesn't ding. Instead, it just does this thud. It just goes boonk as it hits like thing. And then Brian sort of just looks at you with a smile. He's like, "Ta-da! If you need me again, just ring the bell."
Oh, brilliant. Oh, yes. Brilliant. Morley, you have the power. It's amazing.
No, this guy's really
sorry, I
good,
didn't quite
Morley.
catch you. What? If I need you again, ring the bell, and you'll come a running, will you?
Yeah,
Right.
let's give it a go.
And he just shambles
no,
off.
that's-
He shambles off behind the curtain.
Morley, what part of ring the bell and I'll appear did you not get? Dunk.
And the hands like outstretched and he shambles in. Very zombie-like for a normal-looking guy. And he stands at the counter in front of you like,
Welcome to Brian's.
Morley, you have to
Okay.
keep on that
It's
bell.
been one of the worst trades of my life, but you learn lessons in this life, don't you? Thanks very much, Brian. I'll be seeing you later. Get that hand looked at, all right?
I've just like gobsmacked at Morley, just like, he's clearly a zombie.
I think
He's a bit sleepy, but I wouldn't go that far. Mate.
Definitely a zombie in makeup, I'm just saying.
and the 3 fingers just hanging off his hand.
Oh, look, you've seen better days yourself, Loris. I wouldn't have thought you'd be throwing stones around in the glass house that you're in.
Yeah, at least not label him anyways.
Oh, no, I think he's a great guy.
and you can just
I-
hear once more, just maybe a little louder across the room.
Welcome to Brian's.
And you
Brian?
you can kind of feel, Bill, that maybe that one was aimed in your direction.
Come on, Bill, step forward.
Bill steps forward, and I just say, "Hello, Brian.
Hello.
How's your day going?"
Oh, I've had better days.
Oh, really? Why is that?
It's a little chilly.
Oh no. Maybe you should have a fire or something going on here.
And he sort of like looks around the room and he sees like some candles and he just puts one of his hands on over one of the flames. He's like,
That's better.
and you just see like the flames flickering up and burning the flesh around his fingers.
Don't do that.
What is it of yours that you do not love?
Well, I mean, I am a firm believer that if you do not love things, you should just let them go. So, Brian, boy, do I have some stuff for you.
Oh shit! Here we go.
And I just thunk down a couple of pairs of studded leather armor. Oh, sorry, a couple of pairs of armor. One is studded. A bunch of fake relics from the death house.
Wow.
Just all together. So the relics are a 6-inch tall wooden figurine of a dummy, a folded cloak made from stitched ghoul skin, a hag's severed finger, a knife carved from human bone, an iron pendant adorned with a devil's face. And I'm just gonna pop them all down and just be like, there you go. You don't even have to give me anything. Just, I don't love them anymore. And I thank them for being in my life. And see you later.
He just like puts one arm FUD down onto the counter and just like swipes all of it into a pile like on the ground on his side of the counter. And he says,
I have taken what you do not love. I cannot guarantee you will love this, but here's something.
And he rustles around underneath the counter. And he brings back just like this what looks like something that could go around your bicep, almost like something a chieftain might tie around their bicep. And he just places it on the counter, and he says,
May the spirit of Kavan guide you.
The spirit of Kavan. Oh, thank you. Hopefully I'll love this. It looks pretty great so far, so thank you very much.
Cool. And with that, Brian just like,
Thank you, and don't forget, if you need me again, just ring the bell.
and he just sort of shambles off behind the curtain. And all of the candles on the counter just by one just go and just extinguish themselves. And you're all just left in this dark room. You're just going to ring the
Why'd you
bell.
pay him?
The black belt, black belt that I've got in my hand. I'm just gonna press it again.
Yeah. And the moment you do that, the candles just flicker back to life. And these are hands outstretched through part of the curtain again. And he says,
We're doing this, are we? Okay. Well,
I'm sorry, Brian. I was just testing it out. Don't mind me. Don't mind me.
Can I just get some coins and offer them to him? I feel like surely a glass ball is no trade for such a wonderful mystical item. You must take some coin from me, dear Brian.
and he holds up his hand. He's like,
no, you gave up something, and you received something. That is the way of the trade.
Don't argue with-
Trades.
And he's good. He's happy. Crap for good stuff. He's happy.
and again, the candles just extinguish one by one, and he makes his way back behind that curtain.
Crap for
Marie
good
Kondo
stuff.
vibe, wasn't it?
I thought you were going to go,
Yeah.
I ring the bell again.
Out of the cabin and shepherding everyone out. Just let's leave this guy alone. We'll call on him when we need to. Come on, guys. Let's get on with our journey here.
I'm just
Oh,
be
now we've
sniffing a
got
bit
to-
more.
Hurry up! We can't be distracted. Let's get on with it. Something before it's all over.
Ooh.
When we, I have a question.
Yeah.
When we exit the shack,
Mm-hmm.
Are there any signs that time has passed?
No, it doesn't
Like
look
more quickly than we might expect?
No. The only thing that you really notice as you walk outside is that welcome sign is off now. That's really the only difference. It doesn't look like any extra time has passed.
Sun hasn't moved in the sky.
No. You've been in there for a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes tops.
Yeah, Molly, just
Well,
keep
that
that
was-
gun in your pocket just in case, because it could come in handy.
But you're not the first person to say that to me, Loris.
So you all get yourselves back into the carriage, and as you all settle in, you look back over to where the shack was, and there's nothing there. The shack is gone.
See, Loris the Magpie, there's a reason for him.
What a great guy that Brian was.
That was weird, man.
Hey, Brian the Zombie Man, he's cool. I'm totally up with him. I've
What's-
changed my opinion of zombies. Or the undead, at least.
Yeah, it's restored my faith a little bit in the undead because so many of them have been dicks around here.
Yeah, I was always almost certain that zombies and undead people, no, skeletons were dickheads.
Oh,
I do have to say that I probably wouldn't have given him as much of a chance had it not been for the Baron's tutelage on the subject of trans living folks and their struggles. Post living. Sorry, I often get the terminology wrong.
yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, Molly, you need to be more open, man.
Oh, I'm sorry I'm not woke enough for you, Loris.
Just like you don't need to be so afraid, Morley, that we can help protect you if you're frightened.
Not everything.
I'm not frightened. I'm just trying to get on with it.
I mean, a little frightened.
He's just sensible, isn't he? I'm just going to snort some more cocaine. Be like, I reckon we can do this. Let's get our move on.
I'm like, actually, now is a good time to discuss our plan before we get there. And I'm sure you've got good planning. You're cooking up some plans as we speak, aren't you, Brian?
He's cooking something.
He's
My
bubbling.
brain is going. Plans and plans. Plans within
Are any
plans.
of them relevant to this, or is it like small business ideas or something?
We could get a wagon, sell hot dogs, and we could have a scallywag on the top.
We have to scallywag at some point.
Yeah, I think another
Scallywagon.
scallywag, nice.
It's perfect.
Another 20 minutes have passed on the road towards Yester Hill, and you find yourself face to face with that same view that you originally met, which was just a sea of fog with this hill breaking the crest at the top there. And I'm just I completely forgot. I had something really awesome planned for the Sirenscape side of things for Brian's store, and I completely forgot. But
There's a lot to think about, isn't there?
there was but you're getting up close again, and just like last time, there's these like, despite it not being rainy at all, you can see every now and then just a bolt of lightning like crash down into the circle of stones around the crest of the hill. You can see maybe a couple of figures near the entrance at the top, but you're so far away that you can barely make out how many and really who it might be.
Okay.
I like
we
to
can
think.
stop the cart while we're out of sight.
This is where we were when we saw the big bastard. I reckon you remember.
Oh, I remember. I think
Which
we have a
bastard?
chance. Morley, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was just only one entrance to that circle of stones they were in.
That's right.
So-
That's why we snuck around the back.
If we can trap them inside it with a sneak attack, they'll have nowhere to run.
Hard agree.
And if we can make a stealthy approach, we'll have the advantage.
Yes, Loris.
I actually have something that I think I prepared this morning that I think would be a perfect cover for us. It's a spell that veils us in shadows and silence.
Well, hot damn.
Thoughts? Let's plan this thoroughly. How
A new
about...
spell?
It's not a new spell, it's just one I haven't...
Oh, an old spell.
An old new
New
spell.
use.
Oldie but a goodie.
Yes. So let's plan this thoroughly
Okay.
and see if it works.
Well, going by our
probably
plan,
what
we're
we
going to have
need
to
to do.
explain this at least 5 times, and then people still won't understand it.
No,
Well,
no,
say.
if you just tell me who I need to smash, I'm good.
Yeah, you follow along, okay?
I'm
I
ready.
think
We
Okay,
could have swapped you back there.
I was
attention.
thinking
Are you
of
saying
that.
you don't love me, Brian?
Pay attention.
Brian, I love you. You can't say you don't love me. That's not fair.
We're going
It
back
has
to
to be-
Brian's.
It has
That's
to be
how relationships
reciprocal.
work.
It has to be reciprocal.
I'm just
Sorry.
like,
This relationship's turned toxic, Baron. Gotta get out.
Sorry, American.
I'm just going to put it this way, Loris. If you ruin this plan, I will be dinging the bell and exchanging you with Brian. Are we clear on this?
Just tell me who I need to smash and I'm good.
Okay. Right. Okay, I propose that I cloak us in a veil of shadows. We all sneak up and take positions around this hinge. Loris, you would be very helpful to barricade them in if they try to escape. But basically, trap them in the circle and wail on them. Thoughts?
Perfect.
Maybe
Does anyone-
Colin and Tracy can help at the front line. Or they can also shoot. So-
We should be cautious. If they're druids, they probably know some frightening nature spells that could blast all of us at once, so we should see if we can spread out.
Oh,
It can't
yeah.
smash spells if I smash them first.
Okay. You listen.
Whatever
I-
you do, keep them from getting to the entrance.
Loris's barricade blocks the entrance, smashes anyone who comes near him. Cool.
Yeah.
Does anyone
Got
want
it.
to circle around, climb up the stones, surprise them from behind? We could get them from all directions at once.
That sounds like a
maybe
spider
go
kind of
off in
thing.
I'll go off in the east or something.
I can do that.
Okay. How
can
tall
yell
are those
insult at them.
stones?
Molly, where are you hiding?
I'm just doing what Mirakin tells me, Loris.
No. If you have any ideas, now's the time. Don't make me feel like I'm the only one planning this. I want
No,
everyone on board.
I trust in you, Mirakin.
I don't know. You didn't trust me when I said we should go in that shack.
The shack looked like it would come out of nowhere. You can't blame me for not wanting to go into a shack that appeared out of nowhere. I've been there before.
Unlike a circle of stones with a whole lot of angry druids.
But we
Well,
expected
I was here
this.
the
We
first time,
know,
Loris, you
we
pussy.
know it's there, but there's more
Look, I'm
danger.
not holding against you, Morley. It was a good-natured ribbing. It was a good-natured ribbing. You're a good man, Morley.
Well, I'm just a little bit sensitive at the moment with this heart getting on my case all the time.
Is it because you're missing Irina?
He's
No.
missing his, he's totally missing Irina. Like he's
I
just
don't even know
feeling
who
a
you.
bit
Oh,
Oh,
the
he's
sister
turning red.
What's his face?
sensitive. Look at him.
I'm just no.
Turning red. Oh.
Not the type of. We have a serious battle to plan, Mirakin. Grow up. Goodness me.
Come on, big man. You can put
Oh.
on a performance here.
I know. Hey, guys, before we go up there, should we all get ready? Would anyone like some cocaine?
Oh hell yeah!
Give Laura some.
Oh, hell yeah! Hit me with
I
that.
produced
shit.
my big bag.
All good strategies start with everyone likes some cocaine before we get.
Right on the forearm, man. Right on the forearm. Just like
Do
that.
you actually want some, Laura?
Yeah. Good night.
All right, I'm going to put a little spoonful along. Anyone else?
Loris, I am going to need a Constitution saving throw for you. I don't think that you've had any indication that Loris is a drug user at any point.
Hell not, but
I'm like, is this gonna help his impulsiveness? Is it?
Loris
part of
rolls
the
a
plan,
Constitution
American.
save of 19 plus 6, which is 25.
Yeah, you sniff that, and you are like, I'm going to say you both you and Shannon, Baron, both get. I'm going to say like a +2 to any perception rolls at this point.
You're sending the wrong message to the audience.
Give them a debuff to wisdom or something.
Don't waste it, Loris. Yeah, good stuff though, right?
Yeah,
and you
whoa,
get an extra 5 foot of movement.
Oh,
This guy,
awesome.
the same guy who was like 2 weeks ago was like, "Oh, don't talk about whiskey. Don't talk about whiskey on the podcast."
Can we rename this to like some fantasy shit that's not like literally a real word drug that ruins life?
We are not talking about
We'll
the
call
white
it
powder.
Bomaine. It's not the same
Anything.
thing.
It's
Barovian
not.
marching powder.
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying
Don't
really
do
hard to
drugs,
give you
kid.
Colin and Tracy on the map, and it's just not. They're not being. I don't think they're being placed on there, so I can't give you those. But we might have to theatre of the mind their positions there, Shannon. Unfortunately,
Okay.
unless I've
Barovian
dropped like 400 of them onto the map or something.
Right, 400. Yeah,
No, I
400
don't
would be
think so,
fine.
but 400 would be amazing.
Strahd Snow.
So
Strahd
what's
Snow.
what-
Let's call it Strahd Snow.
Drive snow.
Barovian Blow, I reckon, is better because I don't want to
Street name, yes.
when I'm.
Barovian Blow.
Yeah.
Nazis.
it has to have multiple. You can have multiple names. That's
Yeah.
apt.
Yeah,
It's going to have
yeah.
multiple names, absolutely.
I want to know what
This
Loris's
is Strahd
reaction
Snow.
to it is.
Very good.
Just more awake than I've ever been. Like his eyes just go. It's like, oh my god, I can see more than I've ever seen. This is
Yeah.
amazing.
You do also lose just 2 points of intelligence just during that whole thing. It's kind of
Look out.
it's a come and go kind of thing, right?
That's fine. Like Loris acts pretty stupid and impulsively anyway, so it really isn't
No
going to make any
comment.
difference.
No.
Deep character reveal.
No, it's pretty fucking obvious. If you haven't seen that by now, then what have you been
Oh,
watching
oh.
for the last 2 years?
Got you there, Molly.
That's the joke.
I'm just like, I can sense the situation getting away from us. So shall we just plan really quickly before everyone starts running all over the
All
place?
right. So what's the plan?
Okay, Laura, stay. I'm going to cast a spell on all of us right now.
Loris,
It will
stay. What am I, a dog?
Your words, not mine.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cast a spell. Laura, stay. Sorry. But where is it? It is called Pass Without Trace. And a veil of shadows and silence radiates.
What happened?
Oh, sorry.
Is that the cocaine kicking in? Laura starts like laughing uncontrollably while I
Mute,
try to
Laura.
laugh them.
I missed something.
I'm lost.
I
Was it the
didn't see.
text translation of what I
know.
said?
No. Just a random thought that ran through my brain.
Okay. All right. So let's
Okay.
talk about Pass Without Trace.
Okay, I'm gonna be very dramatic and like burn some mistletoe and like swish it through the air, and a veil of shadows and silence radiates from me. Everyone starts laughing uncontrollably
Dave, do you
for
need a
some
moment?
reason.
Do we need to have a
Let's
break?
put it on mute.
Just chuck it on mute for until you've relaxed yourself.
I'm
Only
gonna wait
Morley's
until
allowed
I'm
to
up
laugh.
to speed.
So
Is there something funny about my spell?
No.
are you thinking Ismark
Okay.
doesn't pass without Trace?
It's along those lines.
Yeah.
Just sorry.
There we go.
Is it about poos?
It's about being silent and deadly, right?
Okay.
All right.
Well, that's what we're gonna be.
Each
So
creature
anyway-
you choose gets a +10 bonus to Dex checks, which is cool.
Yep, and cannot be tracked except for magical means, and we leave behind no tracks or traces.
Perfect. And that's just an instant thing. It's not a.
It is an instant thing.
Oh, it's a concentration spell. Okay. Do we?
No, it's not. What? Oh, it
Duration,
is. It's a
concentration
concentration
up to
thing. I
1
didn't see
hour.
that. Bloody hell! Why are all my spells concentration? Okay.
Because otherwise you'd be
We'll
very
eat it up
powerful.
once we
I'm
get
just
there.
going to
We'll be-
unconcentrate on it when we start wailing on them.
Okay, cool. Cool. So yeah, you cast that, and I'm assuming you're all sort of surrounding American at this point. Well, not surrounding; it's 30 feet, so it's not too bad. And yeah, just a veil of shadows just covers all of you. And while you're all aware of each other's positions, you're even kind of hard to see to each other at this point.
Oh, this is cool. All right, I will stick around the entrance, and if they try to get out, I will try and corral them back inside with area of effect spells. Everyone else, do whatever you gotta do.
Okay, great.
Block entrance.
Got it. Yeah. I'm going to keep my distance a bit because I'm not the most stealthy person, even with your magical spell, and I've got a long range.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah,
what
I'm just gonna.
I was just going to say,
Sorry,
what I'll
Karen.
get is just basically a stealth check from everyone.
So how does it work to have a plus 10 bonus? Does that just mean we roll it and then you add 10?
That's right.
Okay.
All right. I rolled a 7. God damn it!
You needed that plus 10, so up to
That was
17.
a 4 plus 3 even, or 3 plus 4. Fuck hell.
I rolled a
I,
15 plus 10 for 25.
I rolled a 1 plus
That's a-
5,
Plus 5.
Is that a crit? That's
Plus
still a crit
10,
fail,
plus
though.
10.
No, that's like it's still like a total of 16, so that's not exactly. You can't really crit fail with a 16. Morley, 28 total. That's fantastic.
Nice.
And can we get one from the Baron?
It's a 16.
I got 16 plus 12.
I was clicking
nice.
on the screen to try to dismiss Baron's dice.
Oh,
I do that so often.
Like, why is it not going away?
Yeah, I do that so often.
I'll take it away. 16 plus
Really
12.
Okay, perfect. Great. So you all are you all just heading up this hill? Whereabouts are you guys trying to venture?
Do you need one from Colin and Tracy?
I was just going to, unless they're going to split away from you, I can just use yours. But if
I'll
they're
go
gonna
with me.
Yeah.
And once it gets busy, they'll run away from me, possibly.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So I'm just basically going to where I've been told, which was the entrance of the thing, and literally just standing there like a barricade.
Yeah, it's going to take a few minutes to get to the top of this hill. It is a steep hill, and you all make your way up the path. And there are just these rings of sort of rocky rock piles, dotted around the circumference of this hill. John, you make it maybe to the second ring. There's these paths that are sort of concentric around the hill as well. And you get to about the first one, Bill, and you just you hear like a whisper just in the back of your mind. And there's something sort of that this thing that you wrapped around your bicep just tightens just a little. Doesn't restrict it, just makes it feel like there's a little bit of pressure around it. And you hear a whispering just in the back of your mind that just sort of says, I've been waiting for someone worthy.
Ooh.
American, you had your hand up. By the way, you're the only one that obviously heard that, Bill.
I wanted to whisper to Bill, make sure you message someone if you see anything that complicates the situation.
Sure. Did you hear that?
No. What?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing?
Nope, didn't hear a thing.
Nothing, Bill?
I'm sure it's fine. Just my lots of nights playing in loud taverns. You get tinnitus.
Oh.
There's
Okay.
some weird wind as well.
Some weird wind.
So have we decided who's going to be going where? So
Go to the
Loris
east.
and I will head to, and the skeletons will be trying to block off the entrance to them. Who else is going where?
I think I'm going up the side over to here.
So the
Oh,
eastern
try to-
side, yeah.
Is that right?
Yes. You may have. They'll have trouble looking in, right, Morley? We could see a little bit in, but your vision
Wait,
will be
there's-
limited.
There are some cracks in the facade that you can look through.
So you should still be able to do things.
Do we need a distraction?
I'd say Loris is attacking them would be a distraction. Unless we want to distract them before that.
Let's sneak up with our sneakiness.
What's going to be
Sneak.
our first shot?
I'm pretty sure they'll realise they've had a mace to the face.
I can fireball them.
It's a hell of an opening.
Yeah? That's a hell of an opening.
Whack, whack.
Yeah.
What we'll do,
Surprise!
guys, is we will roll for initiative.
There's no tokens to click. Sorry.
There are tokens to
like-
click at the top right of the map.
Those are the 3 words that I love the most.
Yeah. Oh, we know.
Like,
We know.
They're the 3 words.
So yeah, your token should be at the top right of the map, Dave. So give that a click and roll.
I didn't click it, sorry, but I rolled a 12.
Oh.
I rolled a
I'm just
7.
going to start giving penalties if people don't click their tokens.
Well, I can't top right of the map. What? Like if I zoom out to like I don't know.
Yeah, you're going to need to zoom in. I've said this like multiple times.
But then I'm looking
Too
at like
eager.
a big, no, I'm sorry.
How did you think you were going to move your token around?
I just figured you'd do it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, actually,
my
to be
God.
fair, I wasn't intending on moving.
I just
I'm gonna be
run the
at
whole
front.
thing on roll 20, Dave. Don't worry. Well, I'll just start doing your
sounds good,
moves as
okay.
well.
Nah, because you don't have my flavor.
That is very true. I am not doubting that one. So a total of 12, was it, Dave?
It was.
Okay, cool.
I'm so ready for this plan to go to hell.
And Loris won't be moving. He's going to be standing at the entrance,
Well-
smashing the fuck out of shit as it walks out of the door.
Yeah, as they kill Loris, we
Hey!
will destroy them with. They'll be distracted by Loris.
They'll be distracted by me, and you guys can, I don't know, burn their asses or whatever.
It's a good plan, even if it goes wrong.
So fixated with bizarre.
Yeah.
Well, that was the plan of attack, right? Like last week was feet, this week is butts. That's kind of what you said.
Yeah, I think that's the
It was
plan.
preordained at the beginning.
All right, so we're
I
kind
believe
of
we're in
talk.
fate.
we're going to be a little loose with the initiative order at the moment, just because there's still quite a distance between you guys. So I'm not going to just do 6-second rounds. But let me know what you guys are each wanting to do, and we'll let it all play out, and we'll get into the turn order when it becomes important. So let's start. We'll start with you, Loris. What's Loris doing?
So my intent is basically to follow the instruction that I was given, and that was to get to the entrance of the circle and basically wait a further instruction. So I'm standing there with Lightbringer ready to go. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I see anything that's not one of my crew, I'm smashing the fuck out of it.
Okay, cool. Who's leading the group? American, you've cast the Pass Without Trace. Are you leading the group up this hill since you and Morley are the ones that know this area? Or?
I mean, I don't mind, but I want to ask Bill, what are you going to do? Do you feel prepared? Because he's been quiet.
I'm gonna sneak up the side and then have something.
Something good.
I have something that might help us create a big distraction.
When you did that spell at the winery and you put them into a trance, that was incredible. Is it something like that?
I could do that. I've got
I'm not
something
telling
else.
you to do that. I'm very excited to see what you do. You seem confident, and that's the main thing.
Okay, I'll do what I think I was gonna do.
KG.
It's a surprise. It's a typical performer, eh? He's like, my lips are
What a
sealed
showman.
until the premiere.
What I might get you guys to do is just all place your tokens in the positions where you're wanting to end up. I think is going to be the way to speed this up a little bit.
Okay.
Such a long way to
Great
travel.
bit of dungeon mastery. That's perfect.
Wow.
Well, no, I'm saying like that's a good idea. I like it.
Yeah.
It wasn't
just sounded
sarcasm. Good.
That just sounded really quite, the DM passive aggressive.
We're like full on passive aggressive tonight. I think everyone's had a bit of a passive aggressive thing at some point, eh?
Yeah.
All right, so
Just
it's,
straight from the bat.
so everybody's just running
where'd they go?
straight for that main entrance, yeah?
Well, I'm doing it in a
Oh,
stealthy
a couple
way.
of you off to the side. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm off to the northeast.
Okay, I'm just trying to see how far away you guys are all from the thing. Loris, whereabouts are you?
I'm getting there. I'm just getting there.
Okay, relax.
Who's
I
going
have-
around the back?
I have the.
I know
have
moving
like,
tokens is it's a frustration.
it's complicated, right? It's
Here
a
we go with the
frustration.
passive.
Given that I have the most movement of anybody, plus like I have 40 foot plus like this extra.
Well, I'm
5
not
foot
asking you to
engagement.
measure it out
It's
one
so
turn
hard
at a
being
time.
that
Just
good.
literally put your token where you.
Well, you told me to zoom in. them out. So,
I don't
How
Dave,
is this the hard part?
I know.
I know.
Like literally
How
no
many
one else
cubits-
has. Others have had it there for a minute.
Stop hassling. Loris, come here. Where are
He's
you?
made it halfway up the hill. It's okay. He's getting there.
He's getting puffed. The cocaine is wearing off.
Wait,
Aaron, just bring some of that powder back. It'd be great.
American,
Oh, you come
I'm going to sneak around the back, like you asked.
Ooh, little Mr. Goody Two Shoes. Sorry. Aaron.
What is happening? What is happening?
I'm starting to feel like a little bit of pressure from this plan that it seems.
I don't know what's happening. First of all, Dave, I hope you understand that I'm going to put you back a little bit from your position, considering there are some
Why?
people literally standing in front of you there.
I'm sorry, but
Is
I
that
don't
what they are?
and
guys
they'd
at the
be
front.
before I even, they wouldn't have seen me. I'd just run up and they'd
You
just back
can't.
back.
It's not good enough for you just to like literally walk in front of them, like just like
Okay, fine.
just tap them on the shoulder. Excuse me. You can't see me. You can't see me. Hey.
I wouldn't touch them.
All right, I'm going
Wait.
to describe a few things for all of you. So as you make your way towards the crest of this hill, the size of these boulders really are a sight to behold. Morley and American, you two had seen them before. 6 to 10 foot high boulders just surround like a decent, maybe 250 foot diameter circle on the top of this hill. Each of you have had moments to take a look and see what's inside, and you can see on the western part of inside this circle, druids, people. I'm just going to say people. You know they're druids, but I hate saying druids. Anyway, these people are walking back and forth, picking up clumps of mud and sticks, and it looks like they're starting to build what American and Morley may recognize as the feet of another statue. And every time they place like a clump of clay or a twig down into growing this statue, this spongy black wood is slowly growing up and sort of wrapping over like these roots or vines growing up over the feet that are being created. And there's just a steady production line going back and forth, grabbing and building this thing. The other thing you see is standing guard at that entrance is just these three really broad human-shaped things. You can't see their face. Maybe they are human. They've got these wooden masks over their face, and they're all dirty with mud. There's the occasional lightning bolt slamming down into one of the rocks, and it's just sort of randomly hitting rocks as you make your way up the hill. The other thing you notice is on the opposite side, I think maybe Loris has noticed this, and a few of you may have noticed it, Murikin, and probably Bill. On the opposite side, almost completely opposite to the entrance of this ring, there is another entrance on the other side. So it looks like there's two entrances to this ring of boulders on the top of
Who
this hill.
scoped out this place? We were told there's one entrance.
The other thing,
Yeah.
the other thing that imposes sort of
Bad information.
the other thing that you all notice on your way up the hill is off to the west, not even too far from the base of this hill, is just an entire curtain of fog. And within that curtain of fog, you see like almost illusory, just this white fortress on this hill above this great city. And every time you try and focus on that fog, it just sort of comes and goes as like an image of this great city that it looks like it might be a mile away. It looks like it could be 1,000 miles away. You can't really gauge its distance, and the fog obscures all details from it, and you can hear just gently just this echo of a church bell.
That is.
But you try and take it in, and it just disappears from view, and it's in this ever-changing wall of fog. And this wall of fog off to the west goes as far as you can see. Far off to the
don't
north,
like it.
far off to the south. And yeah, so the other thing you notice is not only are these three of these big, massive-sized humans guarding the entrance to this, but you can see a few more within the boulders, the circle atop this hill. And we'll take a 5-minute break there before we really get into it.
Perfect timing.
Yes. Oh my god.
Do you guys want to hear the cool... this was the store music I had, or sounds and stuff I had prepared for Brian's.
Yes, please.
Is that going?
Yeah.
There you go.
Something starting. Yeah. Spooky.
Yeah, it was meant to be a little spooky, but I forgot. That's all right. You may be seeing Brian again in the future.
I think we're suspicious enough already.
Yeah, you didn't need that as well. When Adam was like, "What are we doing? Just let's go." I was like, "Oh God, how do I get them in there? How do I get them in there?" Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm not going to let the DM down. We got to get in there. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it kills me. I'm getting in
Take the
amongst it.
bait sometimes.
Yeah. What do you guys think of? What do you guys think of Brian?
Cool.
Good
Cool,
bloke.
nice guy.
Just great.
Good.
Fucking sick, mate.
Sick. Yeah. I love that you were the only one that couldn't see through his disguise. Oh, sorry, that you couldn't see through it.
Yeah, and the fact that you were the one that was the most trepidatious about going in, and then you were also the one that couldn't tell what was going on either.
I think what that really points to is the fact that I don't actually see differences between you and me.
Oh, okay.
Right.
It's always helpful
Woke
when you
Morley.
don't see this.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was very nice. Unless there's some sort of thing that comes back to bite us on the ass
Yeah,
with
I'm
these
like-
artifacts.
The classic monkey paw thing, what if it's all cursed?
Your nose falls off from the cocaine.
Yeah, and because your nose
Javelin
falls off
throws
so you
you.
can't sniff the finest cocaine. I mean, Strahd snow.
Thank you. Yeah.
I was so ready for you to hand over the scrolls that we talked about, Shannon.
Well, all of them.
I know we had talked about them because I was like, what's stuff you don't like or that you have? And you're like, well, I've got
what
these
was the
scrolls I
first thing
literally
that I
can't
mentioned?
use. What was the first thing that you mentioned?
Pretty sure it was that dust.
I thought it was I think the first thing you mentioned was like flour. Like a bag of flour.
No, because I sent you a private thing. I thought
Yeah.
you were just listing all this stuff. But
Right. I'm gonna just have a quick. Just confirming. So that our conversation started with you showing me your spells, like spiritual weapon and bless. You said you couldn't do. So I was like, okay, sweet. I'll get something. But that's all right.
Okay.
You may have another chance at another point to get rid of anything else.
Yes.
That you might not need.
Fair enough. You're right.
That's all right. It's all good.
Well, maybe someone's got a bell and you can bring them back.
Exactly. I just want to thank some people. We've got Grape Ape, who was actually pretty funny. He was joining us at the start. He was waiting to see what we were doing. He was like, do these guys give away anything? Are these guys all right? And everyone's like, no, just follow them. They're great. He's like, I'm not just going to take your word for it. He gave us a follow by the end and unfortunately had to leave. So thanks. If he ends up watching this back, thank you so much for the follow, Grape Ape. I'm glad we could convert you. Horny Vacha, thank you for the follow. Dreaded GM, thank you as well. And Kalan is out with the 1,000-bit donation there. So thank you so much for that. Thank you very, very much.
There was an advert that had a song of "Ring My Bell," and that was playing through my mind when Adam was talking about the bell. And I can't remember who it was, and I'm not going to sing it because just. Yeah.
But I mean,
that's a good recollection there.
You should sing it. I mean, you could have been the front man for Guns N' Roses.
I could have been, but
well, you basically were
before me.
There's only one difference between you and Axl Rose, remember?
Well, it's the hair thing now, and I mean, Axel's hair is pretty bad right now.
No, it was only one thing. It was that he was the singer of Guns N' Roses.
That's right. Yeah.
If I remember.
If we haven't defamed or got ourselves in trouble with the recent conversations, then sure, why not? You know.
Desmaria says Anita Bell, ring my bell. Was her last name Bell as well? And she wanted her. Oh. That's interesting. There was a bad Aussie cover of Ring My Bell way back in the 80s or 90s that I now have stuck in my head. That was Hoju the Elder. Welcome aboard, Hoju. I don't think I saw you at the start there, but welcome. Thanks for coming along. Anita
See, I
Ward
wasn't imagining
sang
things.
Ring My Bell. I've got like an 80s version in my head that I'm thinking of right now. Anyway, this is Adam's idea. We've got the question of the week.
Oh, yeah,
And
question of the week.
I believe it was Joe's turn to come up with the question of the week.
I think you mean JM.
Oh, JM.
AM. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we're not giving away names here. RM.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. My question is, what is a thoughtful thing that your character would do for someone else? So what would they consider a very kind gesture?
That's a really good question. Who do you
Mine
want to
would
start
give
with
cocaine.
Yours did
Let's
share the
start
cocaine.
Start with Baron Byram sharing his drugs.
Or my Strahds, no.
Yeah. Trust
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Not the drugs thing.
Sharing is caring, right?
That's precious
The
stuff.
sharing thing.
Whatever. Precious, I suppose. Limited supply.
Yeah. We need to figure out how many uses it has
Yeah.
because it's pretty.
Also, being a wizard, an intelligence debuff is not ideal, yeah?
No, I don't think I got the debuff, did I?
Oh, was it
No,
just for Loris?
It was just me.
I did say both.
You
say
did?
Did you?
both.
Ah,
Yeah.
all right.
It's probably more of a negative effect on you than it is
Probably
on me.
won't be using that again. In a fight.
Right here.
Is it int or wisdom?
Intelligence.
He did say
I
intelligence.
did say
Yeah, that's no
intelligence.
good because that's my
Yeah.
special stuff. All right.
Right.
Yeah,
That
that's
makes
like
sense,
kind of
though,
what we need the most
given
in
that
battle from you.
your special stuff respects your special skill.
I mean,
Okay.
it is drugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you
You're
do
like,
have...
negative
saying about drugs?
consequences for doing drugs?
Oh, the bunny's doing some zoomies. That's what I'm here to see.
Oh,
His own drugs.
There we go. Woo!
Oh yeah, funny.
okay. Go again.
Yeah.
Go again.
Awesome.
Do another one.
Sorry, folks. Question of the week has been distracted by the bunny.
Yeah, let's
Bunny.
Joe, what about American?
It would probably be similar to that, and that would be like if she was to cast a nice spell on you, or give you the honor of being shown Runzen and maybe allowed to pet Runzen. Like if you're presented with a precious little cute massive spider to pet, that's like a big compliment to you. You're in like Flynn.
So allowing your spider to meld minds with Loris was like super special.
Yeah, I would say that was like trusting another person with my
Alright.
little spider.
Yeah,
I'm
that
good.
was
That's
that was
cool.
a huge moment. That was awesome. Who's next, Joe?
What about our bard?
I'm a little bit torn on this one, actually. I think it's to be looked after. I think that is the thing.
What does that entail? Does he cook them a nice meal or something?
No, I think generally, Bill really values his friends, and so he spends a lot of his time trying to look after everybody, and then so to have that reciprocated is like ideal. That would
Yeah.
be his idea of like a good time.
Yeah, he's looking
Maybe
out for people.
somebody cooks him a nice meal or something.
All right. Loris banks that for all the times that Bill has saved his ass.
Oh,
Got
man.
it. Must cook.
I'm
Bill a
looking
steak.
forward to you cooking Bill a meal.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah. Loris must find some roadkill and cook it for Bill.
He will appreciate the thought, but probably won't eat any.
Hey.
Yeah, because Loris is like, that relates to last week's question where Loris was like, I like food a little bit like stanky. And so he'd be like cooking something a little bit off for Bill, like this is the good stuff.
This is the best shit you're ever gonna eat. Yeah.
So what's something?
Literally.
So what was it? What's something that Loris would do if he was doing something
Yeah,
thoughtful for someone?
Well, I think we've seen it. There's been a couple of times when Loris has shown his softer side, and is the one time when he carried Baron back to back to bed because he was wasted off his tree, and just Loris picked it up and carried him. And I'm trying to think of the other time. There's been probably that moment when Loris did his mind meld with the spider. So those are the two kind of when Loris shows his softer side. So it happens really.
If he's being thoughtful, he'll mind meld with your animals.
Well, no, it's just like it's he's more like if he's being thoughtful. Personally, he's being thoughtful. That is the moments when Loris is actually thoughtful. It's like fuck, this doesn't happen often. Like most of the time, Loris is not thinking of other people; he's thinking of himself. And
This is devolving.
It sounds like what you're saying is when Loris is being thoughtful, he helps.
When he's less of a selfish.
I'm going to need one specific.
It's just. I think yeah. It's just when Loris thinks of others other than is when you say it. That's just kind of how it works.
When he thinks of others, what does he do for them?
The fact that he thinks of others is probably
No!
as far as you're going to get.
You can't just say when I'm thoughtful, I'm thinking of others, but I don't do anything.
When I'm thoughtful, I'm thinking of them a lot.
Yeah. In my thoughts,
It's
I
not
think.
something I do. Come on now. Speaking as Loris, it is not something that Loris does. He thinks of himself, and it's literally he values his friends and.
What does he
people
do?
around
How does
him.
he show that he values his friends?
Well, he picked Cohen. How many? Like he carried his friend who was clearly fucked off his tree back to his bed and made sure he was looked after.
Right, so
Well,
he
one and
shows
only
That was
time.
very thoughtful.
Actually, this is an insight into Loris's character. This is not me ragging on Loris. This is actually quite fun, I think.
That's a pre.
Loris likes to show his thoughtfulness towards his friends only when they're unconscious and don't know he's being nice.
Well, yeah, I don't need you guys to know that I've got a.
He's
soft-
macho.
Yeah,
Toxic.
I think that
masculinity.
Masculinity.
I have an image to upkeep.
So, like, if
right?
you woke up to a nicely cooked bit of roadkill, you'll be like, "Oh, Loris did
Yeah.
this, but he didn't want to tell me." Oh,
Like he leaves a dead bird outside your
yeah.
door.
It'd be cooked first. It wouldn't just be left cold.
Oh.
It'd be
Yeah.
cooked.
Yeah, still on the ground though, but yes.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
What about
Rubbed it
Morley?
on his chest a bit. Some flavouring.
Gee, you understand me too well. That's not cool.
Morley, what's something thoughtful Morley would do?
I think Morley's love language, much like mine, is acts of service. So he would pause whatever he was doing or cancel plans or whatever to go and do something to help someone else out, like cook them a nice meal or carry them back to bed when they've been unconscious. No, like doing favors, I guess, like small things rather than gallivanting off and getting himself into mischief.
Nice. Oh,
Also did this fan out of Morley. Oh, he's so cute.
he got
Nice.
the makeup on.
Nice. It's awesome.
It's got the filter on.
How does
Green
that
is really
keep
my
seeing
colour.
faces of my drawing? Stop.
It doesn't hit the. Oh, I thought you drew that filter on.
No. I think it's a testament to how good you draw faces that it
Yeah.
picks it
Oh,
up
they're
as an actual
good.
face.
It's amazing.
I mean, it's good enough to fool the filter. That's pretty good.
Great curves on the hat. You've really captured the fabric.
Can we have a look
Just-
at that again? Throw it up one more time. I need to see the curves on the hat. But yeah,
Yeah, that is cool.
that's pretty great.
Very well done. Nice.
Shannon's gone. I was about to kick things back off again. That's all right. We can wait.
Okay. Can I just say, very concerned about the fact that I've sort of led this plan. I'm feeling a lot of pressure. And we now know there's an entrance and an exit. So the plan is immediately
Oh, really?
not
Like,
good. Because remember, I even asked in the chat, oh, is there did we see one exit?
I'm
And
really
you're like,
surprised that the two people who kind of supposedly scoped this place out missed the one exit.
It's a
Did we
twist.
scope it out?
You guys.
Like, I know
just-
it's a big space, and I know you guys kind of ran up and kind of took a quick look and took
You
off.
might remember that thing that almost killed you. We'd just seen that at the
What do you
time.
mean, almost?
and we were
It
trying to
did.
get the fuck out of
It
here.
did kill me.
Yeah.
But
Well, you're
it
still
just-
here, for better or worse.
It just seems surprising that kind of a key piece of information, even though your plan
I
was
don't
to
know if
sort
it
of
was that big of a key. It's like,
I wasn't going up there in my capacity as a fucking land surveyor.
I'm saying I could imagine. I can imagine us missing that detail. It's a pretty big space, and again, distracted by a literal monster being created in front of our eyes. So
yeah.
No. Apologies, Loris. For my,
to be fair,
woeful-
Loris was walking up to the gateway, and is like the first thing you tell me is like, "There's another exit." I'm like, this is new.
Yep, that is new for literally everyone.
That's like, okay.
Yep, new information for the whole team.
Is this like the most passive aggressive episode we've ever done? Like, I can't believe it. Like straight away, I like ruined the intro by mistake. You're like, fucking okay then, and I was like, oh shit.
Gonna be like that tonight.
But we still managed to. And then I ruined what you wanted. Well, I didn't ruin the book.
Well,
ruined
you
it.
didn't ruin
The
it.
book ruined it. I actually thought that was.
The book ruined it.
I thought that was amazing. I was like, I was flicking through it. I was like, oh, I mean, none of them have that. They're not going to try it, so it's fine. It's just written off wine. And then when you did that, I'm like, oh man, this was literally put into the book to upset people. I think.
yeah.
They
I was like, I
anticipated a
literally
druid going,
planned
I'm
that.
going to fix this.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, spells to choose. This will be so good.
I know, it's so mean.
Never mind.
It's so
But it's
mean.
okay.
Yeah.
But
That's
wait
how
till
the
we find
cookie
some
rolls.
actually diseased food anywhere else, because he's giving you a cast iron guarantee now that any food or drink in the rest of Barovia, happy days.
And I'm just like, put that spell directly in the bin.
Are you guys ready to get back into Yester Hill?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
So,
Yes to that.
a lot of it's better than that, but don't judge me on that alone.
Oh, we will. We totally will.
The only thing I'll judge you for is
Fair.
using your microphone when you're cracking up. I won't have it.
Yeah.
Okay. Get some Sirenscape sounds going.
Oh,
Ooh,
God.
the lightning strikes. Hits one of the
Also,
rocks.
is that that's a lightning storm that I could utilize, yeah? Or are they creating it?
No, there is just dark clouds above. There's no rain, and there is just the occasional bolt of lightning cracking down into the ring of rocks. It doesn't look to be created by the druids.
Okay,
Maybe
that's
there's
good to
something. Maybe there's something about this area. Morley, I'll say one other thing. As you've made your way around this side of the rocks, you do notice off to the south end of the hilltop just a grove of dead trees and shrubs off to the south. And there's in the middle of those, you can see just this misshapen dark tree right in the middle. And it looks to be just oozing blood like sap from its twisted trunk. And you can't really see too much more details from around there other than this tree looks disgusting. But it reminds you of Mirakin's staff.
Don't hide there.
Does it also remind me of Winter Splinter, that big thing that was?
It does also remind you of the wood that made up Winter Splinter.
And can I see enough to know that this tree possesses no immediate danger?
You don't see any movement from that direction at this point. It doesn't look like Winter Splinter. Like it's not like it doesn't have the sort of the carved holes in the face where it sort of had those evil eyes and mouth. But you also remember that when there was a point where that you saw Winter Splinter stop and on its in place, and when it stopped, you could for a moment forget that it was what it was and was nothing more than a tree.
I'm just thinking to myself, that'll be their fucking failed winery, piece of shit.
But let's go to the top of the order with Loris.
So following instructions as best as he can remember them, given his intelligence has been knocked back by 2.
I mean, that doesn't make you an imbecile or anything. It should.
No, it just makes me less clever.
You should
than
lose
I
like
usually
1
am.
point of intelligence. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Or even 2
Anyway,
modifier.
so yeah, I think it's a 0 to a -1 if memory
Right,
serves.
okay.
It's like so. I think I'm quite a way away from the people up at the top of the circle, right? So I think I could probably walk at my 40-foot, maybe half the way.
Yeah, I mean, the measurements on this are all up to date. So if you use
So it's about 70 odd foot away.
yeah,
So I want to basically just slowly walk up with Lightbringer, just kind of dangling, kind of just holding it, just waiting. I kind of picture sort of like a Braveheart thing, just walking up with his sword, but Lightbringer across his shoulder, just ready to smash something if it moves. But I'm only getting it halfway, so I'm just going to walk up halfway and just kind of wait, and I'll see if they move or do anything. But other than that, I'm just kind of waiting patiently because I've been told not to rush in and smash things straight away.
you just slowly step, and thanks to the pass without trace, you can't even hear your own footsteps. And you look behind, there's no footprints left in the dirt behind you. And these 3 solid beings at the entrance of the thing are just sort of standing out, looking down out over the path to the north. So there's no action that you want to take at this point?
No, I'm just going to wait, and obviously if they come anywhere near me, then I will hit them. But yeah, I have no reason to believe that they will.
Yeah, okay, fine. That's the druids inside the circle. A few of them move closer to the base of this statue that they look to be rebuilding, while a few of the others continue just packing down what they've placed on the ankles of this new statue. Morley, it's over to you.
Right. I'm just gonna, similar to the last time I was here, when I was making a detailed map of the place. I'm going to,
Minus that chicken eggs.
I'm gonna see if I can look through any cracks in those rocks that are big enough for me. If you remember last time, didn't we have some sort of discussion about if I could cast a spell or shoot a bolt through? That's how big the kind of hole.
Yeah, we'd be able
to.
You'd be able to move to find. It might take a couple of seconds for you to find a spot that you can sort of see through and be able to cast something through. But you do manage to find that, and there's probably one of these humans that are walking back and forth that you might be able to sight up. 2 others probably in what I'd consider half cover, and then a couple out of range completely.
Okay. Given I'm sort of cloaked in shadow, I'm just going to train my crossbow on the one I can see. That's the easiest pickings. And I'm going to keep the sights on him or it. And the minute anything kicks off, I'm releasing a bolt straight at its neck.
All right, so you're just readying an action on that one. Okay, that's
Yes,
cool. Great. Bill, over to you.
I'm also going to ready an action on. I'm going to cast a spell when Loris engages.
What are you going to cast it where?
On Loris.
Oh, you're going to cast on Loris. Okay, cool. All right, American, over to you.
I'm a bit disappointed that there's some hanging out outside the entrance, because I was hoping that it'll be hanging out inside like last time. So I'm like, oh, God, how can we get them back inside? I mean, I'm like tossing up between spells, and I know that Brian the Necromancer is thinking of fireballing some guys. So I am going to hold off until he initiates, but I think I'm gonna see what happens, and as soon as he initiates, I'm gonna start calling lightning down and dropping the pass without trace.
So you're waiting for the Baron to move?
Yeah, because I think that's what we agreed on. Like,
Okay.
we're like, who's going to kick it off? And he's like, I could fireball them. I think that's what we agreed on, but I'm not sure because we were planning on. Well, he was on cocaine at the time, and that didn't help.
Okay, we'll move over to the Baron. We've got a lot of readied actions happening here.
I'm still on cocaine. Barovian blow. Well, how about I'm going to try the same thing that Morley tried, and I'm going to try to see inside the circle.
Yeah, so you make your way over to the circle. What sort of distance is that? It's so you basically use up your movement to get over to the circle and find a little spot, and you can see across towards the statue there, and you can see basically all, because of the distance you've got, you could sight up any one of those 6. But even though the map might be showing you the other guys on the inside to the north, from your position through the rocks, you don't see them.
Which ones don't I see? Oh, the ones on the west.
You don't see these to the north in here.
Oh, I don't.
You're looking sort of across from your direction, and you can see the 6 humans that are working towards building the statue.
Right. Okay. So... Oh, yeah, some of them are like 20 feet apart. I think I could get 4 of them with my spell. What's the big Y3?
You shouldn't be able to see that. That's just a token for me to be able to see what area this is. Let me move that away.
We can see it. We're
like
concerned, but
olden days version of Y2K.
Y2K, look out. It's bad.
Y3K. Okay.
All magic stops working in year 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have a K, does it? It's just Y3. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get and I'm going to poke my finger through a gap in the hinge, and I'm going to fuck these druids up. I've been sniffing too much stuff, but fire shoots out of my finger on an arc, lands right between these 4 of them, and it blossoms into a 40-foot wide sphere of boiling fire.
Damn, that's huge.
Oh yeah, sweet. That encapsulates all of them. Is there some sort of roll for that needs to happen?
40 feet wide, so 20 feet
in radius. Yeah.
Radius.
Yep.
Yes. Well, they do have to do a dex save, I believe. Where's my fireball? I'll just look at it here.
I'll roll.
Dex save of 15.
Okay, great.
The auto text keeps calling it a dick save.
Dick save.
Because dick sounds like dick.
Well done. That's great. So the first one rolls a 12. The second one rolls a 21. That's a nat 20. Third one rolls a 16, and the fourth one rolls a 19.
Okay, so 3 of them saved.
3 of them saved. 1 of them didn't.
They'll all take 3 will take half damage.
Okay.
Here's 8d6.
8d6. Holy shit.
Whoa.
What did I get? 34. So
nice. The one that doesn't
17.
save. The one that didn't save just it erupts into flames, just like, and she screams at the top of her lungs as she drops to the ground, burning, her flesh burning and bubbling, and she just drops onto the ground, dead, just absolutely annihilated with that fireball. The others manage to sort of dodge a little out of the way, but they take 17 damage, and that has them all looking pretty charred.
Pretty sharp.
Are any of them?
What?
Are any of them the one that I had my bolt trained on that I was ready to fling off?
No. Oh, yeah. One of the ones that saved is basically in that state now. So they were the ones that dodged.
Right. So, do you want me to roll a
Yeah,
crossbow?
please. Yes, roll to hit.
19.
19. And yeah, as she sort of dodges out of the way, and half her hair's all burnt off at this point, just a crossbow bolt just slams into one of her shoulders and sort of pushes her towards the burning corpse of her friend. Taking, how much damage was that? 5 damage.
5. But would you say that, due to the chaos unfolding, that they were perhaps at disadvantage, and I could perhaps add some sneak attack onto that?
That was, we'll say that took her by surprise. Feel free to roll your sneak attack damage.
Oh, yeah!
I mean, we did all the planning and we were like, I mean, you gotta.
She just takes that bolt and basically kills her straight outright. Straight into her shoulder. It just goes into her body and just stops her on the spot. And she falls down. And the parts of her that were burning, just the flames take over her body and completely immolate her.
Did anyone else see a whole bunch of blood explode?
I saw that
from
blood
her?
explode. That was impressive.
Yeah. I thought you might like that.
I'm going to be holy shit, Adam.
Now,
I'm going to steal a line from American after the explosion. I go, did I do that?
American had like a attack ready as well for that after having seen.
Yeah.
So American, you see just this eruption of flame from on the other sides of this these boulders, and use that as your cue.
Yeah. I'm gonna lift my staff to the sky, and I'm gonna say, I call on the power of lightning, very dramatically, actually. And I cast Cool Lightning and utilize the existing storm. And I cast at level 3.
Whereabouts are you?
What does it do? I'm gonna aim at the clumped guys in the front, and they have to do
Level
a
3?
DC 14 Dex save.
Sure. Do we have?
And oh wow, it rolled my damage for me, and it rolled 2 1s and a 7. But I get another D10 because I'm using an existing storm, so I rolled an 8 for a total of 17.
We had a roll of a 14, a 3, and a 20. So one of them manages to save.
Okay.
So it's.
So the.
What are we doing for damage there?
It's so long. Okay, so on a failed save, they take 4 D10 lightning damage. That's 17. And they take half as much on a successful one.
Man, they did all right considering that was a 4d10.
Yeah, I rolled 2 1s, which was quite disappointing. And what was the other thing? The one that fails falls over or something, don't they? I don't know.
Does it?
Nah, just I can't freak. The spell is so long. I think that's all. I think it's just to fix the damage.
Dex saving throw 3d10 or 4d10 lightning.
It's just the damage.
It doesn't look like anyone falls over, but I do like the attempt to have like one of them go pro.
It's just because some of my spells.
If it's already stormy conditions, you get to add 1 more D10. By the way.
Yeah, I did that, so it's 17 instead of 9.
Oh, right. Sorry.
So it goes from 3d10 to 4d10.
Level 3, not level 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason I thought they fell over is because a bunch of other spells make people fall over, but not that one. Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna ask.
Oh, wait, it was a DC of 14. I thought it was 15. I thought you said 15. So 2 of them saved. Sorry.
Yeah, it's DC 14.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna get runs in, and I'm gonna be like, whip them, and he's gonna run up and try and stick one of them to the ground with a shot of web.
How much movement does Ranzin have?
Some.
Because each square is 50.
Yeah.
So he's got 30-foot speed.
Mm-hmm.
And the web has a range of 30 feet.
All right, that sounds pretty good.
Or
so
60 at
it can sort of like run in and run halfway to it and shoot out web.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
he rolled
that.
2 nat 20s.
Oh, here we go. I told you there was going to be one tonight.
2 nat 20s.
But I mean, I didn't need to roll at disadvantage, which makes it less amazing.
Yeah. So what happens?
Awesome.
They're restrained.
you just let go this lightning bolt, despite having been cracked down on all of these boulders. One just slams midway between these three guarding the entrance. Two of them manage to sort of like deflect the blast, but one of them just takes it fully and takes a decent amount of damage. And then runs in, sort of appears out of the ethereal plane, runs out and just shoots its web towards which one of the three?
The one closest to Loris. I want to set Loris up for a nice easy blow.
Sorry.
Come on, guys. I knew as soon as I said that, I'm like, someone's going to crack.
Yeah. I also said he takes it easily, so I'm just like, never mind. So that one, I'm not even going to do any sort of roll against like a strength check or anything. That to me is just with a double crit is just an instant success. We have a restrained target.
Well,
there.
actually, it's already restrained regardless. They don't get to do a strength check until it's their move.
Well, I won't allow them to have that on their next move because of that.
Runs in, baby. Proud of you.
Now, what else have we got? So, it's still your turn, Baron.
Yeah. It's Colin and Tracy's turn,
Go, Colin and Tracy, come on.
and I want them to shoot one of the pull out their short bows and aim at one of the druids that was attacked in the fireball.
Yeah, what sort of range do they have?
Well, they'll be
there?
at disadvantage. It goes to 320 feet.
Oh, yeah, cool. So they each take their turn lining up with their, was it crossbows?
Short bows.
Short bows.
It's got short bows. Well, that's what I wanted. I found out that this whole time it was short bows.
When did we give them short bows, by the way?
I've been collecting them.
Oh,
well,
no, that's right. Davian gave you guys weapons at the end of the last session. Yeah, that's fine.
and short swords they've got. Okay.
Cool.
Now, so I'll roll this. This is the first one at disadvantage. So there's two of them. So a 14 plus 4.
That's a good roll.
Yeah.
That's a real good roll.
So that's an 18. And then the second one, a small double 17. 17 plus 4.
Oh, both of those are hit. Which druids are they lining up?
Well, they're the two remaining ones that were hit by the fireball.
Yeah, great. So roll damage.
Okay, they're special skeletons, so they get an extra 3 damage.
Oh, nice.
So because of my necromancy wizard skill. So 1d6 plus 5. Oh, a 1 plus 5.
Okay.
That dice looks nice on there.
And the other one?
And a 5 plus 5.
Okay, cool. So Tracy shoots across and hits one of the druids like square in the sort of chest, and just kills it with that single blow. The other one, sighted up by Colin, he manages to get her in the leg and it manages to take a bit of damage, but she drops down to one knee and just screams out the top of her lungs, "They're back!" Now, who else had a ready to attack? Was that everybody's ready to attack? John? Bill?
I never really think it's on Loris engaging.
That's right. All right. Having heard that call out that they're here coming from the druids within the circle. Now, American, did you drop your concentration?
Yeah, I dropped my concentration on Pass Without Trace.
Yeah, cool. So now standing in front of these three solid humans is just a Goliath with mace in hand, and there's just a deep rumble from these three. One of them struggles to move but can't because of the web, but you hear just this deep charge as these two just go running out towards Loris. Is that all right?
Bring it on.
So let's move these guys up. And they move to flank Loris.
How far can they move?
Don't you worry about that. You don't need to know their stats.
Oh, no. I'm just
They move up to meet you.
I'm just checking that you're not moving them 50 feet when they can only move 30.
I make the rules. I could move them 100 foot if I wanted to.
I make the rules here.
Unless you've been looking, Dave. Unless you've been looking
They're
at the
gonna run
stats.
circles around you, man.
Unless you've been.
I have
looking
no
at the
idea
stats,
what
mate.
they are, but I'm just questioning. Something's moving. That's right. I'm allowed to question. I have no idea what the fuck they are, but I'm going to destroy them. But that's fine.
And
Smash first, ask questions later.
they both attack with advantage thanks to the flanking. One gets a crit, so nat 20. The other one an 18.
Hang on. Both of those are hits.
Taking the first one, even though it was a crit, managed to do 10 slashing damage. The non-crit, however, does 14 slashing damage. So it's a total of 24 damage.
Okay, so I'll take the 10, but I'll use my my stones. I forget what I call it.
Stones
But, you know
endurance?
the one. Stones endurance, yeah. To reduce the thing by 1d12. So I'll roll the 1d12. And where am I? Oh my god, so many things up. Okay. 1d12. Or 20's going slow. There it is.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
12.
Right.
So
Nice.
instead of 10 plus
So instead of-
14, you take 10 plus 2.
10 plus 2. Okay, cool. So it's 12 damage. Sweet. All right, good. That's unexpectedly painful, but I'm still going to break you.
My roll 20 is having some issues right now. But the other berserkers, or these big beasts,
berserkers, really?
come running out to take a look in and see what's going on. I like how you're like, oh, berserkers. I totally didn't look up that stat block. Weird.
No, I didn't.
that's-
Didn't look up any step blocks, Reagan. Come on.
Weird. It's weird.
You've
Is that
never
what they're
told me what
called?
they-
Is that what they're called? No, berserkers.
Now I'm going
Stop.
to
No, not looking that up.
Come on. Anyway, yeah. So the other, there's 3 more of these guys that just come running out to like look around, and all they see at this point is Loris standing in the middle of this path, but they don't have enough movement to move any further. Loris, it is your turn.
See, this is the suggestion that I would cheat and look up. Step
Get
block.
him, Loris.
Quite frustrating.
Loris,
Um,
smash.
Laura Smash, yeah. So I was going to throw my lightning bolt javelin, but seeing they've jumped me, I'm going to smash them anyway. And I'm delaying over the rage thing way too much, but I really should. And for some reason, I'm feeling really stink about doing it, but I'm not gonna.
Well, you're not going to rage.
Huh?
Oh, I
not?
want
Just
to, but,
do what's in your heart.
it's the heart's just had too much wine to train some thinking and cocaine. No, yeah.
What is happening?
David overthinks things when he's. No, never mind.
What is happening?
Loris
what's-
has taken
what
so
is-
many drugs, he doesn't know if he's angry or not anymore.
Getting quite passive all of a sudden. I don't know why.
Now's your time to hit them, Loris. We've been waiting for this.
Oh no, does
What is
cocaine turn
happening?
him into a
What is
pacifist?
happening?
Sorry, I've just suddenly felt really passive all of a sudden. I don't know why.
Okay, next person's turn then, I guess.
No,
So hold on. So has he technically engaged with him or no?
Loris has just taken a couple of attacks.
I've been hit and I'm going to retaliate, but I'm not going to rage because it's taken me by surprise. So I'm just going to smash the two
A
of
frontal
the
attack took you by surprise.
They were standing 30 foot away from me. I measured it, and they charged me. I wasn't expecting them. Like, Vale, hey, hello. It's all right. My reasoning, my brain, it's iffy.
Roll the dice. What are we doing?
Yes, I'll roll through. Fuck, sorry, man. My brain is just.
What are you doing? Can you describe your actions?
I will. Give me 2 seconds. So at this guy here, and I ping to my right, I'm literally like going to fend off the blow, and I'm going to swing my Lightbringer back once and then back again across its head. I'm assuming the first one hits give us a 22.
They both hit. So are you taking each of them, or like one each, or delivering both to one?
Just the one to my right.
Both of them to the one. Okay, on the right there. Okay, cool. They both hit. So you do 16 damage to that one. He's already looking a little crispy from that lightning bolt, but 16 damage while hurting him. He's kind of like looks to the side and sort of brings that mask, and he lifts up the mask. You sort of knocked it off to the side as that mace hits him, and he sort of just shakes it off onto the ground. It's just this gnarled old wizened man with like grey beard, and he's just a human, but he's just built like a brick shithouse.
Awesome. He wants to play.
Yeah, and he's just looking deep into your eyes like furiously. Any bonus actions there from Loris?
No, we're going to have a moment.
Cool. It is sorry, John. It's Bill's turn.
Preemptively, Dave, you're welcome. So Bill moves out, and he's going to cast his spell. That's all right.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "He'll rip your heart out. Hide, 'cause Laros is out. Hope you're ready for a fight. Are you willing to sacrifice your life? Laros a monster, giant ape like no other. Fat blight fuckers, now look who's in trouble. As you run through the jungle, he's ready to rumble. Bud's Bill's sample, Laros for example." And he casts Polymorph on Laros, turning him into a giant ape.
What? Okay.
Which I uploaded the stats into the Shroud of Secrecy. For you, Dave, you are now a huge ape.
Fuck yeah.
Dang. Okay. That's
a big
awesome.
spell.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
Dang, that's amazing shit.
Is there anything else from
No,
you, Bill?
that's my turn.
All right. As outside that circle, Loris's form shifts into this hulking ape. All of the druids within the circle start chanting, and instantly their skin, just like the mud and clay that was covering their skin, is now replaced with bark. They have all cast, the remaining ones have all cast bark skin on themselves, and they have all started retreating or running towards the other exit.
That we totally didn't know about.
Does that provoke any attack of opportunity or anything?
No. They need to be within 5 feet of someone to have that. But it is Morley's turn.
I'm gonna put my wheezy little finger through the gap, and if I see one of them running past me, they're getting firebolted.
The one in the middle of the three has just been like lined up perfectly with that gap in the rocks.
Fuck's sake. Back to classic.
Yeah, and it just hits the dirt right in front of the foot of this druid as she's running, and she just like looks, just whips her head over to that direction and sees just for a moment you between the rocks. Anything else?
Yeah. No. Sorry.
I have a question.
Yes.
Which of us has anyone seen that there is now a second entrance that we weren't aware of, and has anyone seen that they're running towards it inside the circle?
Loris and Bill and I think I said Mirakin all would have glimpsed that as they were making their way up the hill.
I think I can see it from here, right?
Yeah, you probably see it now. So I'd say you've all probably seen it by this point. Morley and Baron being the only ones that probably notice that there are 3 people heading towards it.
Oh, shoot.
So that was Morley. Sorry, so you said there was nothing else. Bill, over to you.
I'm going to run up as close as I can. I think I'm going to have to dash. I dash closer to this guy and closer to the giant ape.
Okay, perfect.
And that'll be my turn.
Okay, great. American, over to you. You've seen Loris just transform into this enormous ape in front of your eyes as he was charged and attacked by... Sorry. Okay. That's an awesome... That's an awesomely broken filter. It's so good.
Terrible.
It's so fun.
That's
Okay, that's better. Look
That's
at that.
better. There we go. There we go. Yeah.
It's so much
Oh my
worse.
God.
American. Yeah. What do you do? What do you do?
Yeah, so I'm realizing how big the circle is. I've accidentally moved my character. And I'm trying to think, like, how many turns of running is it going to take to try and get around and head them off?
Like
I don't think I'm going to be able to do it.
turns.
If I dash, I might be able to catch up on them. So having realized that they're not fenced in, I think I'm going to start dashing towards the other
don't know.
side.
American doesn't know that.
But you said that
sorry.
I saw that there wasn't, there was a second entrance.
Sure. Yeah, but you have no idea that anyone's heading towards it.
But I mean, the whole plan was to fence them in, and I
Right,
said
right.
that I was going to try and fence them in if they tried to get out.
Okay, cool.
So I'm going to follow the plan, and I'm going to dash, and I'm going to be heading towards Morley, right?
Yeah, the last
Because
thing
he's
you saw
on the
was
west.
Morley heading around to the west. That's right.
Okay, I'm going to yell out to Morley, "There's an exit! They're going to escape!" And I'm going to dash.
As you yell that out, you notice the three hulking figures at the entrance to this ring all just look towards the rock that you're behind.
You know, I invite them to come at me, and I'm going to dash away.
That's the most polite.
I don't know
sort
how
of
far I can move.
tough
How
speed.
far is...
Dashing will be 60 feet.
So how big is one of these squares?
50 feet.
So I can move just over, like, one whole square.
Yeah,
Like, yeah?
You can
Yeah,
use
sure.
Does
the
that look
ruler.
correct?
You could use the ruler
I can what?
as well.
That
Okay,
looks
cool.
about right.
Yeah, it looks right. We can go
So
with
that's
that.
my whole turn. It's just dashing.
Any bonus action?
I don't think that I can do anything on a bonus action with the lightning spell.
Right, okay. Cool.
Yeah, I have to use my action for that, so I'm not going to be able to use it.
Okay. Baron, back to you.
Okay.
Skelly crew.
Can I squeeze through this hinge?
No,
Gap in the hinge?
you could definitely try and climb over.
No, don't think so. All right, I'm going to fuck him up again. I'm going to do fireball. Point my finger at it, right between these two, and hopefully, explode them. So they have to both make a dexterity save of 15.
Okay. What's the damage? Because it's going to be halved no matter what. So let's take a
Yeah.
quick look.
All right, let's have a look. 8d6.
Such a big roll.
32. 6, 4, 1, 5, 4, 4, 6, 2.
Yeah, you just send that out, and Morley, you've been looking in, and the one that just looked at you just disappears in a ball of flame. And
Terminator 2 Judgment Day at the fence.
and then, the wave of it just like hits, and you're holding on, shaking onto one of the boulders. But both of them, from your point of view, Baron, that flame encompasses both of them, and by the time it dissipates, it's just these roasted corpses on the ground. You've taken out those two as well.
Okay. So is that one dead? Still. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Colin and Tracy are going to aim for the one running to the south.
Okay, and that'll be with disadvantage again.
Yep.
Cool.
So it's a 19 and a 16.
Okay, yep, that's a hit.
4, I think.
Meets beats.
And it's plus 4. It means please. And there's 17 and a 15 plus
That's
4.
a hit as well.
Well
These
done,
guys are
Colin
fucking
Tracy.
These guys.
assassins, man.
So this is a d6 plus 1 plus 5. That's a repeat of last time. 6 damage. And then, a 3 plus 5. for the second shot.
Okay, perfect. So they're kind of like scrambling to take turns. Like they see you do your fireball, you step back, and Colin just like clatters into position and shoots off a bolt, and then Tracy pushes him out of the way and shoots off a bolt. And these bolts just like hit straight into the one of them hits into the side, the other one into the back. And she's just pushes her forward a couple of feet, and she catches her footing and coughs up this blood. And she's not looking very good, but she is still on her feet. Anything else from the Baron?
No. I was going to yell out sorry, but I'm not. So I'm not going to say that.
But I'm not sorry. When it came to that web, what do we have to roll to try and break out of that web, Joe?
DC 12 strength check.
Okay. So this one has rolled a 7, so remains restrained.
But also, you said that they wouldn't have to roll.
They
remembered that.
They didn't even attempt it the first time it was their turn. This is their second
turn. Got it.
Turn.
Sorry to be a jerk, but I will move. I'll just move my go to the north.
Oh, right. Yeah, for sure.
With my special cocaine power, I should go to 40 feet, I think.
Yeah, nice. Nice. Okay, so it's the Berserker's turn, and they just head towards Bill, having seen him run into the fray. All two of them get close enough. The third still a little way away from you. So there's a bit of a bevy of attacks at this point, where the two on each side of Ape Loris and two on the side of Bill all just start attacking. You notice that all of them just let out this just guttural roar, almost in unison, as they all just swing with their axes. So we'll do the 2 against Ape Loris. I don't know what Ape Loris's AC is, but I have rolled a 20.
Below it's 12.
Oh, okay. So it's a 23 and a 16 for those two, doing a total of 10 damage to Ape Loris.
Barely a scratch.
And then we have 2 attacks on Bill as well, rolling an 8 and an 18.
This Shakespearean, mate.
So an 8 and a what?
Here's the lily.
The first roll was an 8, the second roll an 18.
Sorry, Reagan. What was the damage? I should make a note of it because it's
It's a total of 10 damage for Loris, Ape Loris.
yeah. Okay, that's cool. I need to make a note of it because
And sorry, John, the second roll was an 18.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Doing 9 damage. Doing 9 damage to Bill.
Sorry.
His face keeps glitching.
This is what happens when Adam has to have his.
It was the line that was so reminiscent of Mercutio. I was like,
Oh yeah, barely a scratch.
And we're back with Loris, Ape Loris.
Ape Loris. There we go. He muted.
Yeah, he did.
Naughty.
Dave, your turn.
Yeah. Not Dave. Ape Loris. Fuck. So I guess. Okay. I've literally like. So much has happened in the space of 6 seconds. Come on.
I think you should hit them.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
gonna
agree.
smash the fuck out of this guy. It's like literally go, ah! And you can't see me beating my chest because I have a filter on, which is fantastic.
At least it was your chest.
Loris was more than a good beating.
Oh dear. So Ape Loris is just gonna smash with fist on this guy first with 1 hit, smash, and it's a D20 plus 9.
Oh, nice.
So I'll roll the D20 and we can add 9 to it.
That makes it sound dumber than the Hulk.
It's 18
Smashed with
plus
fist.
smash with fist. Yeah.
It's more specific,
yeah.
but
Intelligence is not an ape strong
Yes.
point.
Yeah.
So it's an 18 plus 9, which is 27.
Mm-hmm.
Doing 3d10 plus 6 damage.
Oh, dang.
whoa.
3d10 plus 6.
3d10 plus 6. So add 6 to this little bugger.
It's cool. 20 damage.
That's 20 damage. And I'm envisaging just thing getting smashed on the head and literally pulled.
You're just like pummeling the face of this guy, just absolutely like raging your fists down into the face of this guy standing next to you.
So that is one attack. And I'm going to do the same with on the other one.
All right, so you're just like going to town on 2 guys right now.
Yeah.
That's one way of putting it.
There's a setup.
Go.
Sorry.
Roll for attack.
Roll for going to town. Okay, so it's a 2 plus 9. It's an 11, but I was a strength.
Yeah, that's a miss. You try to bring your fists down into the chest of the other guy, and he just steps out of the way, and your fists into the ground, sort of showing the strength in 8 Loris's fists. Anything else?
Yeah. Just gonna and the other guy. I'm just gonna roar in the guy's face, like roar, showing fangs and teeth and spit all over his face. So if he doesn't run,
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Adam, this is not funny. It's supposed to be terrifying.
It is the druid's
face.
It's the druid's turn, and it just runs out of the circle, looking off to its right to see if it can see any sign of Morley. I think you can see like just a hint of something. I'd say you're probably in 3/4 cover from your current position, and I think you just see this glow coming from the side, this fiery glow just forming in the hand of her as she starts heading towards you. And I think that's where we're going to call it. That's where we're going to call it tonight.
Oh, no, come on.
No, one more round.
One more round.
One more round.
All right, we'll do one more round.
One more round.
We'll do one more round. We'll do one more round. Morley, it's your turn.
All right. I'm coming out from the little bit of cover that I was in, matching, sort of running towards this druid. But I'm going to do something pretty cool here. Well, I think it's going to be really cool. I'm going to take.
Great.
All right.
I mean, I hope I didn't extend the session for something that just fizzles out. Yeah.
I'm going to do like a cartwheel with my crossbow. Hoping to fire off a bolt at this druid who's very badly injured and land behind this rock that you can see here as a bit of cover for me.
Okay, we're going to roll for attack, but actually before you do that, give me an athletics or acrobatics. It's up to you. You can choose.
All right.
That is surely acrobatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably acrobatic.
Well, let's see if I can choose. No, all right, acrobatics. Here we go.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
That's what that was.
Okay. Roll of a 4 plus 2.
Yep.
It's a total of 6. With a roll of that, I will need a roll of disadvantage for your attack.
Groaning from the apo. Oh no. No problem, baby.
Nice.
Wow.
You cartwheel and send a bolt off, but you kind of just like messily fall behind the rock. So you still land in behind the rock. And you're not quite sure whether it hits, but Adam, you know it hits. Doing 5 damage into this druid standing there. You can't really see how she looks from that, but you know in your heart, Morley, that was going to be always going to land.
All right, I'm going to take my bonus action to actually hide behind that rock.
Oh yeah.
So I'm ready to fire off another bolt when I get sight of that druid again.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Cool. Can you give me just a stealth roll as well?
Oh shit! I put my thing away. Yeah, I can. Hang on.
It's because I said it was over for the night, didn't I? You're like, oh no, closing all your windows. No.
Oh,
I accidentally rolled with
That's right.
disadvantage.
It's an
18.
18's, yep, cool, good to know. Bill, over to you.
So from where I am, I'm just going to draw my rapier up, and seeing that I'm in the midst of danger, I'm actually just going to focus my energy on avoiding the attacks from these hulking brutes, and hopefully Loris will deal to them. So I'm going to take the dodge action.
What is it? I don't think I've ever seen dodge. What is that? What does that do?
Oh,
I don't think any of you guys have used it. I don't think I've used it.
it's a goodie.
It's pretty
I think
good.
we've used it maybe once or twice.
I know we've used like disengage and hide and stuff like that.
I've used
Focus
dodge.
entirely on avoiding attacks until the start of my next turn. Any attack roll made against me has disadvantage.
Oh, nice. All right, American, over to you.
Well, my round's going to be super exciting as I use my whole action to dash yet again because I'm going to stick to the plan.
Nice.
And I'm finally going to come around and see Morley hiding behind that rock.
Yeah.
And I'm going to assume he parkoured behind it in a really cool way.
The way he's standing, you kind of tell he definitely did something to get in behind it.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh man,
You just know.
he's really good at acrobatics. I think.
Thanks for thinking decently.
Baron, over to you.
Okay, I think I'm going to do. Just going to do ice knife. Oh no, I'll do chill touch on this person that's sort of at the southmost. They're berserkers, are they? You called them?
Yep.
Yep. So that's a 1d20 plus 6 instead of plus 7 because of my cocaine addiction. So that's a miss 4. And then the two skeletons should be able to attack. Not at a disadvantage this time. So that's a plus 4. A 17 plus 4
Cool,
and
that's a
a
hit.
3 plus 4. That must be a miss.
Yeah, the first one is a hit.
A 1 plus 5 again.
Now with the chill touch, I was thinking of ice knife. Sorry, yeah, chill touch was just a miss. Okay.
Yeah, I would have done it, but there's people next to people.
Yeah, and having those attacks come from that side, they sort of two of them turn their attention over towards the skeletons and yourself, Baron. And it is the berserkers' turns. We're going to go with the ones against Ape Loris to start with, and each of them slash out with their great axes. The first one rolling a 20. Not a total, so that's a total of 20, not a nat 20. And the other one only rolling a 10.
Okay, one hit.
Cool, so the one that hit does 10 slashing damage. This is the one that was like really bruised from the beating that you gave his face just earlier. He's just really sort of taking this to offense, and he's just slashed out with his great axe, doing 10 damage. Bill, berserkers on each side of you are attacking you, both with disadvantage. And you're just
Correct.
dodging.
But wait,
Oh,
if they're flanking, that means they've got advantage. So does disadvantage take them down to neutral?
that's that's right. But they still rolled. They rolled their lowest numbers first anyway. So
Are they actually flanking though? Like neither of them is behind me.
I know we had some rules earlier, like back with Doru, where it was like, I think I gave you guys advantage when not exactly back. No, then with the hags and the windmill, I gave you guys advantage at time when.
Next to
Oh, so it's just when two people are attacking you.
It's not like when if they're not side by side, but there's like some sort of gap, something that's going to divert your attention between two people.
Okay.
Yeah. But even though it's an 8 and a 9, they miss you with both of their attacks. Then we've got a strength check from the one that is currently webbed. With a roll of a 19, just finally snaps the webbing on his feet, lets out a massive roar, and just starts charging down towards the Baron.
back off, buddy. Like,
As does the Berserker next to him. And that is their turn. They weren't able to get close enough to do any damage, thankfully. Loris, back with Ape Loris.
Ape Loris. Yeah, so the guy who's still alive but battered and bruised. I just want to backhand him with one like big sweep of my fist.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a D20 plus 9. I rolled a 7 plus 9, which is 15.
Close.
16.
There we go. It is a hit.
Yay! Hold on, I've got to look at the sheet. There's 3d10 plus 6.
That's huge.
It's massive for a fist into the face. 3d10.
Fisto.
14 plus 6 is 20.
Yeah, you just bring your fist like backhanded across this guy's face, and it just like you just hear a wet crack as he just slides off your fist and down.
He saw the smile.
The sound of a crack.
Crack.
And he gets launched like 5 foot in the air onto the hillside, just dead on the ground.
So I just want to, and then looking back at this other guy, I'm going to swing my other backhand towards the other guy to that one next to Bill, just there. And
Well, you're not going to be able to. Are you going to sort of run up and attack him?
Yeah, I can, because what you got? Hold on, is that guy there dead there? Yeah,
The one with the big red X on him. Yeah.
big red X on his. Okay. Yeah, so I want to step just a little closer to or close enough, but I'm assuming I'm not out of range. I'm not going to create an opportunity attack for the one that's on my
Yeah. No,
left.
you're good.
Cool. Yeah, so I want to just step towards that guy and just smash the one that's next to Bill.
Okay, give us a roll to hit.
D20 plus 9. I roll a 12 plus 9, which is 21.
Cool, and give us the damage.
3d10 plus 6. I rolled a 10 plus 6 is 16.
Okay, you do that thing with that like big apes do, where you're just like running on your knuckles across to this guy and just launch a fist directly into his chest, just like slamming against him, doing how much damage? 16 damage was
16.
it?
Yeah.
Perfect. Anything else from Ape Loris?
No, I just want to kind of stand over him, just kind of like an ape
Nice.
would. Yeah.
This druid that came running out is basically just continues running out towards you until it can see just a hint of the side of you. Well, actually, let's have a quick look. What did you roll for your stealth? 18. Okay, no, it's sort of run and it's can't really find you in the shadows there. And she confusedly sort of like looks around and looks behind her, and she's just going to use her turn kind of just confused. And we come back to Morley.
All right. I'm going to pop up from behind my rock. Surprise, bitch! And then I'm firing off the bolt into her. Is there any kind of condition for her being confused, or?
You're absolutely getting a sneak attack on her.
Okay. Cool.
So roll to
no
attack
advantage
first.
from popping out from behind the rock? No? That's fine. I just thought...
Just taking an attack.
Yep. No, that's all good. Oh, finally.
Hey, he rolls decently.
And give us your sneak attack damage as well.
You know I will.
Whoa.
So 21 damage right in the face.
Yeah, she's like looking around and she just turns back towards you as a just bolt smashes straight into the center of her face, knocking a hole straight through, and she falls dead onto the ground.
All right. I'm actually going to hide back behind this rock again, just to stay hidden, just to say if anything
That's
anything else crosses my path that I can then go surprise again, bitch.
yeah. Okay, that's great. Bill, we're back with you. Before you really get to do anything, there's just that whispering appears in the back of your head one more time. And again, you just hear that. I've waited so long. My spear, it hungers for blood. Retrieve it and rule these mountains in my stead, just
like the mighty warriors from the early days of the Whispering Wall.
And that's where we're going to end it tonight.
That doesn't freak you out. Nothing wrong. I'm so happy to be an ape right now. I'm so happy. Oh.
The ape is damn impressive. Nice one, Bill.
Yeah, that
that's
was
a
cool.
Yeah.
great move.
Because as a druid, like I kind of know about what beasts I can turn into, and there's like no way I would be able to turn into something that strong yet.
I think you actually have access to that same spell.
I think I might.
Because
I'm
polymorph
not
is like
sure.
you can't. Can you polymorph yourself, or is it
Yeah.
just someone else?
Just someone else.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So
Oh,
you can,
really?
yeah. So you can wild shape.
Yeah, I do have
yourself.
that. Yeah, with
But-
my level up now, I can get it.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, that's a new spell.
Yeah.
That's such a cool spell.
Sorry, a creature you can see within range. I guess you could cast it on yourself.
I mean, I could see myself, and I'm in range of myself.
Can you really see yourself though?
Yes. Yep.
Like, no, you
Yeah.
can see like.
That's
Can you
deep,
see your
man.
whole self? Like, you know,
Can you
are
ever
looking-
see your whole
You can't
self?
unless you're looking
Deep.
in a mirror. You cannot see all of yourself.
Just like you
That's what
can't
you-
eat your whole self, but you can definitely see the majority of yourself.
No, I like the thought of a gorilla talking about mirrors and how there's this magic thing, this technology called a mirror, and you can see yourself. in it.
Magnets, man. What do they mean?
Credit Loris, Andy Serkis himself couldn't have portrayed an ape.
That is a cursed filter, man. That is just terrifying.
It's unfortunate that it breaks just at my forehead. Like it's sort of but it's the
not
best
just
gorilla
in your
woman I can find at a short moment.
Like your face disappears sometimes completely.
Yeah,
it's just
Yeah,
like
that's
a
freaky.
big
If I
Ball.
move
Just
out
a
of the camera,
hairy.
if I move out of the camera, or if I put my fat hand like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
I just want to run through some thanks before we just continue talking about the game and stuff. Kalan Darklord gave us 1,000 bits. Thank you so much for that, Kalan. Sean Johnson gave us a follow. Kalan gave us another 500 bits.
Sean Johnson.
Probably not the Sean Johnson, surely.
Oh,
Is he a musician or something?
Who's that?
he's a
Sorry,
league player.
what?
The what?
He's a league player.
Some
that
kind of
resonated well with the
person.
group. On we go.
It's a sport person.
He's a sport person.
Adriel Corvid, thanks for the follow. Mr. Catholic Ninja, thank you. And Bryce from the Brook. But also, thank you so much to Random Origins for who dropped a donation there in there as well. $10 donation.
Wow.
I think maybe
Whoa.
after after whoever took their fees off, it was about 10. So thank you so much. That means so much.
Yay.
Do we get it? Is the donation dance any different than? I don't know.
I haven't. Oh,
like
I like what
what-
Adam's doing.
Behind the filter, I'm dancing, honestly. Yeah.
The donation dance. Thank you.
I'm your private dancer.
Yeah, we dance for money.
Dancer
Yeah.
for money.
John, I hate to ask, but what was your song that you sung?
It's a song called Monster by Kanye West.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. I don't feel bad that I don't know it then, because I don't know much from Kanye.
Yeah.
Well, then
Kanye
you're going
West.
to hate the next three songs I have lined up.
I don't.
Just graduation, start to finish. The next.
Is that a song from Kanye?
It's
Is it?
an album.
Oh, right, cool.
Oh,
I'd be down for that.
Kanye.
I'd be down for Bill's version of
Kanye who,
an entire
right?
album.
All in one go.
Honestly, Bill put on another concert. We've only had one concert so far.
We've been otherwise engaged.
That is true.
be
That is
honest.
true.
Yes. That's bad.
Did you like being an ape, Loris?
I love being an ape. It's fucking amazing.
You're gonna like the javelin when you figure it out.
Well, see, the thing is, like, I was going to throw it. So had they not charged me, the first thing I was going to do was the javelin was coming out of the Veil of Mist. That was the first thing I was going to do, and then I was going to walk up and smash something. But that all got put to waste.
Instead, it was just gorillas in the mist.
And now I'm a gorilla in the mist. Awesome.
Oh my
Not
god.
bad.
So being a gorilla rolling like a D20 plus 9 is like my bestest dream ever. Like having a roll like this, but like, oh look, my fist does 20 plus 9 damage. 1d20 plus 9, and then it does 3d10 plus 6. I'm like, holy
That's
shit!
a lot of damage. What's
That's
the
so
CR
much
rating
damage.
for that?
It's
The CR rate.
CR7.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Whoa.
So
wonder.
the way polymorph works is basically whatever the character level is equal to the CR level.
Dang, that's hugely powerful.
So because
Hang
he's level 7, I could make him into a level 7 beast. It's only beasts.
oh yeah,
It's
To
so
put it
many
in
hit points though,
perspective.
and it's fucking amazing.
yeah.
I think the CR I can do is like half or something, as opposed to 7. So
Half your druid level.
No.
yeah. So I guess I can. Yeah.
I think
No,
it
I
can
mean
go
like
up
I
to 2, right?
can CR of 1/2. I think it might be more than that now. I have to look it up, but yeah.
You're like,
And does
Also,
it max out at 2?
I think it might.
Unless you're that one type of druid like Circle of the Moon or something, and they can go up to 5 real something. That's their specialty,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I don't know. I'm not in that circle.
I was looking at the druid thing, and it was complicated as fuck.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just looked up polymorph because I have access to that too, and it's a concentration spell. So we have to pray that he doesn't get hit and drop it.
that's why he's dodging, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
smart move.
Good move,
Smart
mate.
move.
Really,
Smart
really
use
good.
of
I'm
the
like-
dodge.
I'm so annoyed. Like I'm like cast a cool spell and just run away from the action immediately as fast as I can.
yeah,
But it
was part of the plan.
I just it's the plan, and I'm gonna stick to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the stats. It's like my intelligence plummeted, which is fine. Well, it dropped 3, but the strength on this thing is amazing.
Yeah, you'd hope
It's
so.
like God,
You'd hope
it's like
that
God
a
stats for
CR7
a-
would have some decent stats. I got to try
Yeah.
and get these skeletons tokens put in there for next week, Shannon.
those skeletons are
Oh, yeah,
doing
that'd be
really
cool.
well though. I'm impressed with the skeletons.
They've rolled really well.
Yeah, they've had some good attacks.
I got lucky. They're good, good guys and girls.
I honestly don't understand. I need to figure out why this is not working. 'Cause I dragged them. I don't know. I'll figure that out hopefully
What
for
are you?
next
Oh,
week.
what are you after?
Like I literally made a Colin and Tracy token, and it's not letting me put them onto the map. I have no idea why. That's okay.
Yeah. So what's annoying about this filter is if I raise my eyebrows, it picks up my facial movements, but it doesn't actually pick up with my faces. It's like, for fuck's sake. Like I raise my eyebrows, it picks up the eyebrow raise.
I don't know what's happening.
I'm just this filter. It picks up all my facial movements, but it's like completely off center. It doesn't pick up where my face is properly.
It's probably just a bad
really
filter.
annoying. Well, it's a half good filter. I'm not willing
It's
to
good
face-
enough. It's good enough.
It's good
Yeah.
enough. It's almost like a meets beats kind of filter.
Yeah. Good enough. It hits.
Can I just quickly share a joke that Diz sent me?
Please.
Bill has definitely given us his polymorph spell.
Oh, dude, that's brilliant.
This is so good.
That was fantastic.
Shannon's not into it.
No. I think Shannon gets like psychic damage every time anyone uses a pun in our Discord.
There's some serious punnery.
That's what I'm
going
hoping
on.
for.
At least that one made sense.
Speaking of the Discord, though, if anyone who's watching has enjoyed watching us, then please come and say hi in the Discord. There's a link beneath the stream where you can !Discord to get it. There you go. That's random's just throwing it up there. We talk about pretty much anything and everything, but also just a lot of D&D. So come and say hi. Come and join in. We would love to have you.
Thanks for letting us go an extra couple of rounds, Reagan.
Yeah, Reagan.
You generous DM.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, she's kicked this fireball off into her hand, this sort of like flame in her hand. What a good way. No? Okay, we'll keep going. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's all right. No, I'm glad that you guys had the time. I'll always extend it.
It was
if
good
we
to
can.
end like with that voice. That was cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Any theories on that voice, John?
None.
Cool.
I got no theories.
Cool. Nothing.
worrying.
Did you
Incredibly worrying.
Did you hear what he said? Or do I need to sort of restate? Because I know I was whispering. It might have been harder to hear it.
No, we
I watched
heard
the
it. We
recap, but it was about a spear in the place that in this place.
Yeah,
Some
that he's basically asking you to retrieve. Basically,
Yeah,
cool.
But we haven't
and
seen all of it.
he used to rule this area.
I'm like, also, spooky church in the mist, huh?
Oh yeah, you guys got like.
I couldn't remember that because I'll forget that, but that was like spooky.
That must be like, we're in this like weird kind of Barovian like shadowy mist. I reckon that's like a glimpse into like the real world.
Oh, I need
That's
to
what I
remember
reckon.
that after the
That's what
battle.
Adam
Or
reckons.
That's a good fit.
That is, yeah,
Theory.
it's a good theory.
what if monsters come out of it?
I mean, that's a good theory too.
Then it'll be closer to Ghostbusters too.
We
There you
watched
go.
that recently. We love that film.
I think
so
that is an
good.
amazing movie. That movie,
Very fun.
yeah.
Do you think the first one is better or the second one?
I think the first one's better, but I think the second one gets like it gets too much shit. I think it's almost as good. I think it's so close to being just as good as the first one. Yeah,
It's got a lot to live up to.
exactly. It really does. It really does.
Yeah.
So
I think
good.
it's a really good take. Just
Thank-
FYI.
Hey, thanks.
And I feel almost, I really like RoboCop 2.
I thought RoboCop 2 was the best one, right? I thought out of the
No.
two. No. I watched
Yeah,
RoboCop.
good.
That
I
was
watched-
quite dismissive.
I watched RoboCop 1 again like a couple of years back, and I was like, "Oh, this is not aged well at all."
You're wrong.
No, it is. It's really.
I
not.
watched it a few years ago, and I thought it was pretty fun.
It was fun.
I
It was
liked
fun,
it.
but it's just.
I
it
just
is
watched it
aged.
the other week.
It's
No,
aged
Robert
so
Blueberry was
badly.
And I was
almost
like,
too early. Like,
Fucking hell, this is
super-
aged so well.
the technology wasn't really there for RoboCop 1 to be cool.
What are you talking about?
Like, it's just kind of, it looks like a dude walking around in boxes. Like, I don't know.
What?
Oh, RoboCop 1 looks like a dude walking around in boxes.
I enjoyed the movie.
This
concept,
just
but I
makes it
wasn't-
so much better that you're doing it from behind a broken fucking filter.
Their intelligence has dropped.
The filter is not mine. I just
Would not
grabbed
want to be in
one.
Paul Verhoeven's shoes right now.
Looks like a man wearing boxes. This like a 1-star review on Amazon.
Yeah. I still liked it. I still liked RoboCop 1. I
What
just thought it
movie
just
were
had
you
aged.
Oh, RoboCop, it's a cool
Badly.
movie, but it, like, I don't know. I watched it. It was on TV recently, like maybe a month or two ago.
Have you ever seen it, Dave?
I watched it like 4 or 5 times.
I don't think so. And then he was in boxes.
It's got a man
and then he
that
walked
lives
around
in
the pool.
boxes.
Are you saying boxes like square boxes or like he's in his boxes?
Yeah.
No, boxes as in if he's like a dude made a robot suit out of cardboard boxes.
Oh no! It's his suit is amazing.
It is
I watched
actually
the game.
pretty
The
good.
design is so cool. And ED209 is fucking amazing.
Yeah. Oh, that stop motion didn't age very well, though, did it? Oh.
Oh well, I think it's pretty cool. I like to watch it and go, yeah, it's got a lot of character.
Oh, yeah, it's got a
It
huge
goes
amount
down
of
the
character,
stairs
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the
But you watch it. The problem is you watch it nowadays, and you're like, I'm not really worried about that.
No.
You know, you don't have that same like striking of,
scary.
oh man, this thing is gonna get him.
Yeah.
you're not when it shoots the shit out of the dude and it goes in the boardroom.
I think just because it's so clunky, you're like,
It looks
Well,
silly.
once it falls over, it's supposed to be comical. It turns into like a chicken.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
it's like
next time-
knees knocking and stuff.
but you're like,
Right.
I've seen RoboCop, I've seen how fast he can draw, and that thing,
Like TJ Laser.
I'm going to really annoy you, Shannon. I really like the remake.
I haven't seen it. So
Yeah. I think as long as you don't look at it as like like it's not
long as you
trying
don't
to
look
be, it's not, it's not trying to be like a remake of the original. It's like a new modern story. There's different
Call it
themes.
RoboCop then.
Like I don't know, but it's still like the idea is it's a police officer that gets put in a robotic body and he's like trying to uphold the law, but he loses different parts of himself in ways that it's the themes of it are so different. to the
Well,
original.
Murphy lost different parts of himself, didn't he? Lost his soul, some would say.
Yeah.
yeah.
You
There's
know, okay, here's the final fact that I'll go on about. Robocop's face is just grafted on top of a metal artifice. So they actually just put that back on so he doesn't freak out and pull his own head off.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Which I thought when I found that
Sorry,
out.
they only put his mouth on so he doesn't freak out and pull his own head off.
Yeah,
I
well, that's
must
what
admit,
happened. I'm just saying that.
all the bits where he's like coming to and unconscious and they're talking about the surgeries that are in. I never once heard one of them go, let's put a mouth on him so he doesn't freak out and rip his own head off.
No, his face.
It's his face. It's like if you're they're basically putting your brain into a robot, and if you wake up and look at them and go, "What the fuck is this?" Blah, and freak out. So they put your face on it. So when you look in the mirror, you're like, "Oh, yeah, sweet, that's me."
Well, yeah. I mean, and so that's what they do with Robocop. They
Those
try
about
and make
mirrors now.
another Robocop, and he freaks out each time they make one. One of them, you know, they have a montage of the different Robocop 2s, and one of them just like freaks out and pulls his own head off. And the second one, the only one that survives is just on heaps of drugs, and he's the psychotic killer.
Watch the remake.
Okay, that's my Robocop.
Give the remake a watch. I just want to know what you think of it. Just don't think of it as like they're trying to retell the same story. It's definitely not trying to retell the same story.
He's got a motorbike, doesn't he?
I think so. There's an amazing shot where they remove all of the you see what's left of him, and they're like rebuilding the suit onto what's left of him, and it's just such a beautiful shot of he's got, I can't remember, he's got like a finger or something that's still human or something. So something that they're like, don't put that on there. You don't need that. Yeah, that's awesome. It's awesome.
Did you direct the new Robocop? Because you have quite an impassioned.
Can someone please just buy it on Blu-ray?
Oh, this is the D&D and Robocop discussion stream, everyone.
Yeah.
Robocop, huh? He's a robot or is he a man?
A Robocop RPG, that could be fun. That could be good. Everyone can be their own Robo versions. Yeah?
Cool.
Not virgins. Versions.
But also that.
It's your character. You do what you want with that.
But
Yeah.
also that.
Okay.
All right, I think we'll call. Now that we've finished
We're
talking
done.
about Robocop,
We're done here,
I think
guys.
We should have called it
we should have.
I'm
previously.
happy to talk about Robocop at any moment.
We could have a
okay? So-
Robocop night. Actually,
I am
just talk
not.
about it. Let's we could
Join
stream-
Shannon and
we could do
hashtag
it-
Robocop
We could do a
in the
joint
Discord.
viewing session. I'm gonna check see if Amazon Prime Video has Robocop on it, because then we can do what's called a watch party.
Oh yeah.
And because if you have Amazon Prime, you can tie it up with Twitch and have I'm going to look into that, man. If they've got Robocop, it's on.
Yeah, I do apologize. You know, if you're around me, please don't mention Ghostbusters, Robocop, or Blade Runner. And then we're good.
Blade Runner.
All right, we won't talk about the remake of Blade Runner then. So
I'm going to DM you after this to get your thoughts on the remake. Of Blade Runner.
I remember talking about Blade Runner and Shannon. You had an almighty zinger that I would like to repeat for everyone.
Do it.
Film noir, more like film blah. Good one, right? It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do get a bit upset about it.
I actually am upset about the fashion choices in that film very much so, but
Harrison Ford in a t-shirt. Let's bring that back. Great idea.
bring what?
Well, the first one's a film noir movie. You've started this.
you did
The
this.
first one's a film noir.
Yeah.
He comes out wearing a fucking t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. All the fashion in the original film was imaginative, and this was shit.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you, American. Thank you.
That,
If you think the remake of Blade Runner is shit, why don't you give us a follow and check all of our previous sessions out on YouTube or Twitch or in podcast format. Come say hi in the Discord. We'd love that. We'd love to have you stop by and chat with us. But until next week, I think that's us. Thanks, guys. Thanks for making a great session. Joe, have you got your car ready to sign off with?
Oh, I actually do. All right, bye everyone.
Okay, there we go. All right. So we'll see you guys at the same time next time. Thank you all for the support. And, ooh, there it is. Good night, everyone.